Footy up close in The Advertiser, today's newspaper.
OK. Can you read the fourth line for me?
P-O-K-T.
Keep going, right to the bottom.
O-T-Z-M-L. P-D-R-S-O-C S-R-C-E-T-D-P.
Good.
Made in Australia, printed by Jerry's Printing. Your watch is a Rolex. It's water resistant to 100 metres, but it's a fake. There's only one L in Rolex.
All my life, whatever I do.
On Today Tonight, why women pay more.
It begins virtually from birth.
Females shortchanged at the checkout, from clothes to cosmetics.
13,900.
12,900 in the end.
Our hidden cameras prove it. Plus, paying off your house in half the time.
10 years off my mortgage plus probably about $50,000.
The credit system that saves thousands.
We've got results.
All the banks have them. We reveal which is best at 6:30.
And the game about to get underway, all important for both clubs. Adelaide and Geelong both with just one win in the opening 4 rounds. And there's Mark Rasciuto, who missed the finals last year despite winning All-Australian selection. And it was bad luck for him that he missed out on Adelaide's premiership success at the end of last year. The Crows will go right to left in the first quarter after Mark Bickley won the toss. The ground in beautiful condition after a couple of wet games here in Adelaide for the last 2. And it's my first look at the Cats in their away strip. Might take a little bit getting used to, I reckon. Mark McLeod, who was brilliant in the grand final and won the medal. And he's going there with Simpson.
And that's just about right. I think Simpson's really the main tagger from the Geelong side.
So Stephen King and Sean Wren face each other in ruck. And this should be a great battle during the day. Of course, Adelaide today without Pittman, so Wren will have to do a lot of the rucking himself. Pickering gets the hand pass back. Pinacharo gets the first kick of the game. Across the ground goes Hart. Out in front of Rasciuto. And Rasciuto's kick down towards half forward. McLeod working in front of Simpson. Gets away from Sean Simpson. Pumps it in short. Rob Jefferson won the back.
What a start for him to come back from the shoulder injury, but really lunched the ball there.
Yeah, great start there, and a great kick by McLeod has been picked up by Sean Simpson. Great lead, great foot pass there. Another big surprise too, Mark Bickley's playing the back pocket, picking up Ronnie Burns.
And we shouldn't also miss it. Riccardi, a late withdrawal, drew for the Cats side, and Kilpatrick's a player to come on in.
Jamieson, a former leading goal kicker here. He goes for the first of the game. It's home.
Tonight on 7.
We have 21.
The network television premiere.
You've won how much? $93,000.
50 million people watched it happen.
You lose when I tell you to lose.
But no one saw a thing.
Dick thinks 21 is rigged. Is it?
The incredible true story about the king of quiz.
Instant fame. Would you do it?
And the scandal that shocked America.
I have you.
Rafe Fiennes in the most compelling movie of the year. Toyota presents Robert Redford's acclaimed quiz show. Tonight, 8:30 on 7.
So the Crows were the first on the board. Goals been hard to come by over the last 2 weeks, just 8 goals in each of their games. So start just the way they wanted to go. Geelong now to half forward. Push in the sharp, the spoil was good. Down to ground level. Lee Colbert, plenty of time now to turn, settles. Goes in towards Cameron from the side. He has the spoil in the end down. Rasciuto. Key match player with the Crows, pushes on out wide. James tries to go off the ground, can't win it. Geelong really steadying now, pushing back into the forward line, but Crows back in defence, a loose ball over the back. Cameron's the first one there. Young Cameron Roberts missed the opportunity there, Hart working with him, and Smart goes to clean up for the Crows.
Nigel Smart out of the back pocket, goes for the boundary line with an educated kick and bounces it out in between half-back and wing. Our man in the outer today, right behind this action as the umpire's about to throw it in. It's welcome to the telecast, John Platten.
Good afternoon, boys. How are you going?
Oh, fantastic to see you, Platt. How's it back at home?
Oh, it's great. It's actually the first time I've been out in the air with the Crows supporters, and I'm glad that I'm over this side with them.
There's Scholl making a return from suspension. Pulled down in a great tackle by Sampson, and the Crows have picked it up back to centre half forward, but Mensch takes a good defensive mark. David Mensch floats the hand pass over the top to Sean Simpson. He goes further afield. Corrigan dragged down in a good tackle. Play on, says the umpire. Cats have it again. Look at the tackling. That was James putting on a ripper. And Milburn had nowhere to go instead of straight southwards.
That's very strong, and that was a very determined tackle there from James. Technically great by getting him nice and close and hard. So a huge amount of players around the bounce of the ball now. King trying to get it on out with the kick. Mansfield to Colbert, left foot. Free kick's been found back at the contest. He's given a throw against Geelong. Free kick to the Crows.
Didn't see that one, Wills. I couldn't pick that one up, but the clash of Pickering and Rashudo can be very good as well.
So Kane Johnson takes the free kick into the forward line. Downsborough. It's so important for them in centre-half forward this afternoon. Centre-half forward's the position that straightens the game up. So they need to go through this man. He needs to mark well. It's a bit of a wobble up into the forward line. It's going to drop short. Jarman's there. Beautiful pass.
I think too, Wills, that's the ability of Darren Jarman to, I suppose, read the kick and play in front. The word is play in front of your opponent.
I think the more difficult part is being able to read where Jarman's going, but his kick's a good one. Couple last one now.
Looking for a hard worker? The Mitsubishi 4x4 Triton does the job from $21,555 with free tray. Cool. How about the gutsy two-wheel drive Triton GL, now $16,990 with free tray. Or if you need a go-getter, the Express van really delivers from $19,990. And for a worker that'll go anywhere, go for the 3.5-litre Pajero. Get the works at your Mitsubishi dealer in April.
There's the goal kicker, Darren Jarman, who got on the end of that wobbly kick by Ian Downsborough. The Crows 2 goals in the first 4.5 minutes, but they do have the breeze in the first quarter. Wren wins in the middle. Chance for Biddiscombe, though. High to half forward. Stoneham from behind works the ball forward. Burns taken out of it by Bickley. Ellen, other end of the ground than he was in the grand final. Awkward half volley for Wren. Oh, Bickley's there. That was very clever. Up short of centre wing. Scholl. They might have missed him in the first month, out suspended, and they only won one out of their first 4. Stoneham gets it across to Mansfield, and it's all Adelaide back here. Nigel Smart takes the mark.
Cats just can't get through half forwards yet. Smart pushes back on out wide. Ben Hart, very good mark. Had support here. Runners to give it to. And there's a free one further on down the ground. It's crossed up. He can get on his bike and go. He'll run inside 50. It's an open goal square. He goes for it. Goes long. Goes accurately.
Think what I got to say now.
Why me?
Black Douglas, good drop, $24.99 a bottle. Bowls of Omni for $7.99. Study credit, study. $26.99. Clean Adelaide wine is $5.99 a bottle. Good stuff, isn't it? Jim Beam, $25.99. Beautiful stuff. There you go, Mum.
If you like to sip and you want to save, you can't go past your local Sip and Save.
Well, that really was a hometown goal because the crowd shouted as a player got free and Costa got on the end of it and kicked the goal. Backhanded by King. Cats get out of the centre square. Stoneham's been good in the last few weeks. Finacharo, back to Stoneham. Stoneham paddles it out wide, but Adelaide first there. Rashugo, run down by Milburn. Good pressure by Milburn. It spills to Biddiscombe, but his kicks are straight to Bickley. Bickley towards the outer side of the ground. And Tyson takes the mark. James Tyson up towards half forward. Simpson. He wanted to balk. He was lucky to find Scholl. Scholl's kick to centre half forward. Milburn with a climb. High with a punch. It comes to Stoneham.
Or should have given the handball.
Moving pretty well, Barry Stoneham. Oh, good mark by Smart. It took a step to go off. He was lucky that he went back and was allowed to.
So a couple of strong marks early in the game to Nigel Smart. Uses Wren, doing the ruck work today. The absence of Pittman. And Stevens a long way up the ground from half-back. His kick towards the wing, falling just short of McLeod. Over the line it goes.
Geelong have gone forward probably on 6 or 8 times. Their only marking option is Barry Stoneham. I believe maybe give Derek Hall a go. He's a good mark. He's on the bench at the moment. I know it's only early in the first quarter, but there's another option up there, forward line, to take that big grab the back Barry Stone him up.
So the Crows from the boundary throw in. Sampson drags it back around the corner. Downsborough, good influences on the game early. It's a little left foot kick inside 50. Jamison bundled out of the way. Stevens in the front position. Graham right there with him, holding him all the time. The ball finally flung on out towards the pocket, towards the line. Lee Colbert going back. Probably step over the line. No, buys a few metres first and handballs it over.
Very intelligent play there by young Colbert. Had nowhere to go. And, of course, the boundary is your best friend, particularly in that back line. It was very good play by the young fella Colbert.
So Adelaide, with just 25 disposals, have got 3 goals on the board.
Finacharo playing in game number 3. Gets another kick up to the half-back. Mansfield goes across the half-back line to Tim McGrath, who plays game 150 today. And the banner recognised it with the ooh-ah Tim McGrath. Comes down to Ronnie Burns. Too far out to score from here. He's in the centre of the ground. And Liam Pickering works towards the outer side of the ground. Good kick, and Scholl's come right up from defence. But he's too far out to score, certainly into this breeze. Crows 3 goals to nothing. What can Scholl find? Right to the goal square. Stoneham is there, he climbs. Roberts was in the chop as well. It spills down. Milburn can't get boot the ball. Working pretty hard there.
The Crows are just getting numbers back, aren't they? Every time Geelong come forward, their offensive 50 is just smothered by Crows players.
Exactly right, Wills. And their midfield gets back into their back line to help out as well. But Brad Scholl doesn't give some great runs for Geelong side in that back pocket.
So, beautifully over the back. Burns, 50th game, picks up his first goal. Well done, Ronnie.
There's this sort of whistle coming from under the bonnet.
A whistle?
Yeah.
What, like...
No, it's more...
Oh,
Yes, that's it.
Seems to be the problem then.
Well, it, well, you know, kind of squeals.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you got to slow down and,
yeah.
Well, it goes...
Well, that's a squeal, all right. Sounds like brakes. What I'd like to
Ultra Tune, in tune with you and your car.
Double change for the Crows. Eccles and Bond have come on the ground. Geelong's first goal, Ronnie Burns, from a perfect tap out by David Mensch. The sort of thing you might practice at Cardinia Park during the week, and if it comes off during a game, it's curl the mo.
It's an interesting move, Doug, isn't it? The 2 fresh players off the bench, Eccles and Bond, wasn't straight into the centre bounce. Yeah,
very strange move there, Wills. And what's happened now, Mansfield's gone down to Downsborough, and now Mensch is playing the forward pocket, being picked up by Hart.
Rand gets it out, Sampson's dragged down. Finacharo's had a bit of it, up towards half forward. Stoneham wrestling with Caven, free kick to Peter Caven.
Well, playing in the front spot where all the defenders need to be, and it was good body work, pushing back against Stoneham. Stoneham had to eventually infringe.
Caven with distance. Tyson caught behind, and that's magnificent mark taken by, well, a back pocket player climbing in front of the pack to drag down a big mark.
What's surprising about that, Drew?
Oh, well, they're at ground level.
Back pockets, we used to get up there.
How many marks of the year did you touch?
Not a real lot. Did you roll down that back pocket?
Well, Brad Scholl's got 16 Brownlow votes last year, and if he keeps taking marks like that in the back pocket, he might get some more.
I mean, he's the key player to them. I mean, Geelong defence hasn't been as good this year as it should have been, and he's one of the players who does continually turn the defence into attack. Here's Ben Graham. Here's some run again. McGrath. Ball a little wide, but finally sits for him. He needs to be able to use this one well. Stoneham, he won't reach Stoneham. Colbert has to do the contest, does. Corrigan steps out well. Opportunity now in towards Roberts. Really, but great work there. Play on's the call. Bassett right there with him. Burns. Out in front, Costa. Intercepts the ball. Cuts it back the other way. Finds Hart. Crows will continue this switch on. Well done, Mensch. What a player he's been over the last month. Wins the ball. Gets it on back. Tossed it into the forward on Lynch. Standing shot over the shoulder. Very, very close. Just the one behind.
Very good play there by Costa to change the play there. I thought Hart may have come back on the other side, the members' side here, but he decided to go that way. And it was a great smother, as you said, Terry Wheeler, with David Mensch, who has been a great player, particularly over the last 2 weeks.
Girls, what are your thoughts?
Even though the Crows have started very well, this Geelong side looks very dangerous. They've got a lot of pace over the ground, and they're moving the ball on very quickly.
And Curls, just at this stage, Stoneham hasn't had an influence on the game, but he has been in good form, so he's a danger player there for all the Crows.
Very true.
Two Crows players fought with each other for the ball then, but fortunately it didn't come out into the clear.
Curls Downsborough's been good at centre-half forward.
Yes, he's been featuring in the ball, and that's what Malcolm Blight wants him to do, get under the long kick and try and feed it up or take control.
Ran with two hands down to Ellen. Robbed a bit by Milburn. Some of these packs are developing. Johnny Platten, you'd be at the bottom of those packs in days gone by. You're still doing that in the local competition?
Yes, sure. I think I am anyway, but I've been out for last week because I just trained a medial ligament, so hopefully I'm about 2 weeks away.
Good to see you got a haircut too, Red. Fantastic.
Don't get jealous.
Here's Lynch with a hurried shot for goal, but it was touched off the boot. It's about 30 metres out. Geelong putting on the pressure, but the Crows have a brick wall up here in front of them. Finacharo again, number 43 for Geelong. Wren just clears the 50. Great desperation by Tyson, and the umpire will ball it up.
Yeah, Geelong are working hard here against this Crows defence. Crows moving the ball very well. At this stage, they're 28 kicks and just 4 handballs. That indicates good straight football, whereas the Cats 25 kicks, 12 handballs, being forced under pressure a little bit more. Another Crow kick. This one goes forward. Scholl, good user of the ball generally, goes for King in the centre of the ground. It's over his head. Costa steals it, drops the mark, stays in the contest, so the umpire awards a free kick. Costa just took Corrigan by the ankle there. So Paul Corrigan out to the 150 gamer. McGrath chips in. Biscombe under pressure there. Oh, that's a dangerous one there, foot out. Jamison taps it on back. Bickley can't get through.
Yes, good decision. Definitely good decision there. He had plenty of time to get rid of it by hand or by foot, and it was a super tackle by Ronnie Burns. Had plenty of time there, Mark Bickley.
So Burns on the left foot, tosses on up to the forward line. Hart from behind. Costa getting back well, as a wingman should, into the defensive zone. Roving, and the Cats with a chance here now. Milburn on the left foot. And offline again, second behind to the Cats. So 1-2, playing 3 straight. Geelong really have settled down now after that initial onslaught from the Adelaide Crows.
Working very hard, but finding it hard to pierce this Adelaide defence. Hart marks near the boundary line, spreads it through to Rasciuto. He goes with distance towards centre wing. Sampson works Scholl under the ball. Well played by Sampson. On the lead, Jamison. And plenty of runners at the back. Andy McLeod always dangerous. And that is terrific play, but he just couldn't hook it back far enough.
Very dangerous play, McLeod, the way he just reads the play there. The kick was always going to go over the top there, and he just read the ball better than anyone else.
And also, Damon reportedly took 13 seconds off his 1K time trial during the summer. So you really see a change in attitude from the young man. Great rewards last year, the Norm Smith medalist.
And best of first too, I think, Wills, as well.
So you see perhaps an added maturity in his game.
Yep.
Geelong now, Mansfield giving the run through the centre of the ground. The one bounce, the long kick into the forward line. Roberts knocks it back down. Burns steps out. Right foot, Ronnie. One bounce, 2, 3, 4. It's home.
At the post, Wills.
Now, Bickley's his direct opponent. It's a real tough one, this, isn't it? Ronnie's pretty smart around the ball.
He certainly is very smart around the ball. I reckon maybe the move maybe to bring Bond on, maybe to pick him up and give Bickley a chance to get back up in the midfield for the Crows.
Right, excellent mark taken down here by Andrew Eccles, who came off the interchange bench and playing just his 4th game.
And by the way, Drew, he's got the job on of Lee Colbert, so it's a big ask for young Eccles.
Sure is. Eccles might be a candidate there for the Cadbury's Mark of the Year, perhaps. And here's a free kick coming to Kim Costa just behind centre wing. 3-1 to 1 goal 3. Adelaide leading. Kick by Costa. Punch by Milburn, who's done good work at both ends of the ground. Out of defence by Corrigan. Rasciuto, it's hard to breathe in there. It's very tight. Off the ground by Mensch. Open space here. And here's a big chance for Sanderson, who thumps it long, but just didn't have the distance. And Bassett hit the goalpost and made sure it went through for a behind.
That post is still shaking.
He's got a hard head. He's got a hard head. This kid, he looks hard and tough.
To take a mark over your head, more often than not, you've got a pack bearing down upon you. This time he would have had to have known that post was there somewhere, but great advertisement there for that padding that they've now got around the goal post.
Oh, he looks tough and ready, Wills.
Not a bad advertisement for Bassett.
He's tough.
Well, he's been good at full-back, too. I saw him his first game against Silvani, very good. Held Cummings last week, so he knows the caper. Finacharo drops him perfectly to Pickering.
I tell you what, the Geelong side have gone inside 50 a lot more times than the Crows. They should be probably a couple more goals here.
Short to King, but it was too short for him. Concedes it back. Stand and deliver by Sanderson again. Has he got the yardage this time? Right to the line. He's got it.
Today, only one team can beat the Crows in their premiership defence. John Riddell, Narelle Hill, Bruce Abernathy and the 7 Nightly News team. Now at the special time of 5:35. That's half-time of the Crows-Geelong game today.
How good is Greg at being discreet?
Just ask him what we did in his office last week.
Nothing. We didn't do anything.
Not so good.
You need the office to do a little desktop publishing, huh? You were listening? Oh, there's a stapler in my ass.
Dahmer and Greg tonight at 8 on 7.
Well, the Cats really taking it up to the Crows. They've had 6 scoring shots to 4, but trailed by 3 points. Wren and Mensch on the ball now for the Cats. Wren beats him. And socket out of there by Costa. Tyson heaps of bother. Loses it. Pinacharo's had about 7 touches. Kid just making his way in AFL football. Sanderson. Short of half forward. Great mark, Barry Stoneham. That's back to the early 90s.
Very good mark.
Former centre-half forward for Victoria, and injuries have ruined him over the last few years, but he looks as though he's back and firing in 98. Kilpatrick, a late inclusion for Riccardi. Burns applying the tackle. Bickley gets it out. Smart, cornered. Had to go back into the centre corridor. Could have been dangerous, but Prosciutto.
Long out wide. Sampson and Scholes. Scholes wins out. 2 goes at it, just handballs out in front of himself. Shane Allen on the ground now, steps out of the tackle. Uses Prosciutto, another possession to the midfielder. On out wide, Sanderson with Tyson, and the ball goes over the line. Prosciutto right in amongst it early. 6 kicks, 2 handballs. And each of those kicks have been long penetrating disposals towards the forward line. Mensch from behind takes it to Stoll. Finacharo, right foot, right to the centre forward. Stoneham in front. Free kick surely for being in front. Yes, it is. Haven caught behind on that occasion, so Stoneham, game number 199, so a big one next week for him. Right to the square, some pushing, shoving. King, has he been caught out? Yes, he has.
Definitely a free kick there, Wills. He grabbed Ben Hart when the ball was in mid-flight and dragged him to the ground. I mean, no doubt about that. A good decision by the umpire. Certainly was a free kick to Hart. Here we are, we can see it again now. Drag behind the play there where the contest was. Definitely against King.
So Hart to the outer side. Johnson. Play up at half-back, looking for the target. Downsborough is now coming. It's a long run for him. He's not going to make it. So contest is Jarman's. And there was no contest in the end. Up over the top he goes. Now he kicks towards centre-half forward, but not used well at all. Mansfield, half-back. He'll turn it on Jarman.
Well, that was a high mark, but also a long mark.
He sat there for about a minute, Drew. He sat up there.
He travelled about 19 feet along. Bob Beeman, that was. Ran. Sampson under pressure. Colbert for the Cats. He had more time than he thought. That was unbelievable. Magnificent play by Lee Colbert. And here's Stephen King. He's got a man Lynch unmarked out wide, 48 metres from goal.
That's a sign of a class act there, Drew. When you get a guy like Lee Colbert and sidestep 2 or 3 opponents, was just brilliant. Here's Jarman's mark again. Hang time. He's up in the air for about a minute or 2. It's just brilliant play by Jarman. The kick was terrible, but
he's one of those who defies gravity. Kick for goal by Lynch. Off the hands and through for a minor score. So the Cats creep closer within 2 points late in the first quarter. Neil Curley.
Yeah, most unlike Malcolm Blight. 5 interchange already. Normally just lets the first quarter run its race.
Shane Allen now takes the kick in. Ball Lynch, a couple of behinds. Normally a very good shot at goal. Bickley, long forward handball. Out in the path of Sampson, but just too far. Trickles over the line and out. Geelong now leading the tackling department 7-4. After the Crows got a flying start. The first 3 goals. Just forward of the wing, favouring the Crows. Rashudo can't win the ball in there. Colbert does a long handball out towards the boundary line. Again, will be thrown in. Brad Scholl picking it up to get back to the umpire. 16 Brownlow votes for Scholl. That is a lot of votes for a back pocket, isn't it, last year?
Did you get that many in your career? No.
One. McLeod looks for the free kick. Sorry, the umpire comes in from behind and gives it to him.
Did you get one? Very good. Who'd you flog that back?
Lee Matthews, I think, that play.
Simpson just too quickly in there. Here's the kick right to the square. Jamison can't take it on the second go. McGrath clears on out. It's a one duel here. Costa front position on Kilpatrick. Wins it the second time. Drops it. Kilpatrick stays in the contest. Rintoul drags it around. The marker downs for it. Can't complete it. Ben Graham back. Chops his way out of trouble. Onto his favoured left foot. Tosses it out wide towards Sanderson. Leading in the race there in front of Jum, but now he doesn't have a target on the wing. Play stops. He's gone for Stoneham. This is a long run for Stoneham. Gets there just in time, buys the free kick against Caden.
He's been good, hasn't he? I mean, he was great last week against the Western Bulldogs. He probably had 12 marks. He's probably had 3, 4, may have been 5 marks already. He's been excellent, Stoneham, in his first term.
Back in town, Big Baz. Into Scholl. Getting plenty of the ball again. Looking to go across the half-back line. Up towards the wing. Mansfield flew, and Mansfield crashed with Simpson and left an open path to the Crows. McLeod goes long, offline, and through for a minor score.
I think Michael Mansfield probably should have stayed down on that occasion. Michael Mansfield probably should have stayed down in this occasion. He's a back man, and his opponent, of course, stayed down and picked the ball up. I mean,
he also had to have a sense of who was around him defensively. It was only Costner and McLeod. Those two boys aren't going to jump for a big mark. They're always going to stay at the ground level. One needed to stay down there.
And he was the man for that occasion.
Colbert missed the chance there. Big Rend up the roving. Look at him go. Kicks in beautifully to Johnson. Should go on the left. Straightens up onto the right. 45 metres out. It's going close. It's thumped the post.
Great agility there for the big fella Sean Wren to pick that ball up and to pass the guy only 20 metres away. Just brilliant play by the big fella there.
Right. Geelong bench. There he is. Settling the side down now. 2 goals, 5 for Cats have on the board. 3-3 to Adelaide.
You see the way that ball swung, so that might have worked into a bit of a breeze in his first term of Cats.
Pinacharo working with the defence. Simpson. And quickly off the mark. Looking for Pickering. Costa's there with him. Jump from behind the loose ball. Milburn. Uses Kilpatrick. Misses him. He should hit that target. A metre out the front's no good. And the Geelong side have lost a very good opportunity going forward there. Just a handle not quite on the spot.
So James to take the free. In the last minute of the first quarter. Adelaide by 4 points. It might finish up as close as last year's semi-final. Johnson, who had Robert Harvey in the grand final last year. Hart goes for distance and kicks it about 70. Jamison caught behind, thumped to the ground. Scholl another possession. Up to Tim McGrath. Centering kick, Sanderson. He's had the most possessions this year for the Cats. Had a good season.
Oh, Mensch is free at half forward. You've hit him.
Stoneham to Mensch.
There you go, son. Give it to Kilpatrick. That's it.
Now, he's got King, but he floats over to Mensch. He's still got King in the goal square. Ronnie Burns in short, 45 metres out.
They obviously don't know the time clock, Drew.
5 seconds left, so a kick after the side.
I'll tell you what, guys, their backline's been brilliant. Sanderson's had probably 7 kicks. Scholl's had 8 possessions and McGrath's had 6 kicks, so their half-back line has gave the forward plenty of drive in their back line.
Well, Ronnie Burns after the siren can give the Cats the lead at quarter time if he goes. Didn't miss by all that much. It did come back a long way. So they've kicked 2-6 in the opening term into the breeze, Geelong. And Adelaide have kicked 3-3. And it's a tight contest here at Football Park. And I think Gary Ayres, after just a couple of weeks ago being flogged by a century by Sydney, could be well pleased with these boys there.
Yeah, they certainly had a good dip there, and you know, their backline's been outstanding. As I just said before, Sanderson, McGrath, and of course Scholl back in the side after being out for 4 or 5 weeks. Just brilliant run to that backline. As we said, he got 16 votes for the Brownlow medal because he's prepared to go forward all the time. But up in their forward line, Barry Stone has been outstanding centre forward.
Yeah, great quarter. A 3-point lead to the Crows at quarter time. It's 3-3-21 to 2-6-18.
Good afternoon. Coming up in the news at 5:35, an American jet boat racer walks away from a high-speed crash at Gilman. Scott Price was attempting to break the world speed record when his craft ploughed into mangroves at over 350 kilometres an hour. We'll have those dramatic pictures in 7 Nightly News. Also, more tragedy on the roads as 2 elderly men die near Balaclava and a teacher gunned down in front of hundreds of students. Nobody knows news like 7.
Okay, can you read the 4th line for me?
P-O-K-T.
Keep going, right to the bottom.
O-T-Z-M-L, P-D-R-S-O-C, S-R-C-E-T-D-P.
Good.
Made in Australia, printed by Jerry's Printing. Your watch is a Rolex. It's water resistant to 100 metres, but it's a fake. There's only one L in Rolex.
All my life, whatever I do.
For years, Russia has just one party. Now is one every night.
Right here, right now, there is no other place I'd rather be. Right here, right now, watching the world wake up from history.
Stolicznia vodka and lemon whiskey. Liberate your spirit.
Big Colonel Burger, thanks. After just one bite of KFC's Big Colonel Burger, served as a combo with chips and a Pepsi for just $4.95.
More Big Colonel Burgers, please.
They're coming. We think you'll agree. No one does chicken like the Colonel.
Whether you whine or grind, shake up long, shake up strong, stay on your feet and you can't go wrong. Whether you whine or grind, whether you whine or grind.
We were just looking around for this house for so long, and when we finally found it, it was just a miracle. And I knew that this house was the one. And you know, standing there at that auction, we were so nervous. I just didn't know if we were going to get it or not. And we thought, oh, we're not the only ones. And yeah, I've never been to an auction before.
Oh, congratulations.
Then, with my hard-earned 2 bob, fish and chips on the way back from footy. Nothing like the choices you've got now. These days, it's all handed to you on a platter. But they don't make them like they used to. They make them better at Barnacle Bills.
Just how did Liz get her hands on a brand new Holden Barina for no deposit? The answer is Holden Smart Buy from Hamilton Holden, the smart no deposit way to buy a Holden Barina. Thinking Holden Smart Buy? Think Hamilton Holden.
Second quarter action about to get underway here at Football Park. And this time Geelong have the breeze. They worked pretty well into it in that first quarter. Neil Curley.
Yeah, the breeze, it's not a very strong breeze, Brew. I wouldn't count on the breeze doing the work for you. Two different approaches by the coach then. Malcolm Blight, very angry, very vocal, whereas Ayres spent a lot of time with Liam Pickering, just on a one-on-one situation, so 2 complete different approaches by the coaches.
Corrigan gets a kick out of the centre circle and hitting the ball very hard. Mark Bickley, the skipper, back towards the centre of the ground. Sampson is there, beaten to it by Kilpatrick, but he was bumped off it by Downsborough. And the ball back at ground level, a ball up.
Malcolm Blythe is going to stick with Peter Caven on Barry Stoneham, who's played brilliant in his first quarter. Maybe think about maybe giving Smart the job on Stoneham.
And I don't know whether Liam Pickering warranted a rev up. 4 possessions in the first quarter, probably a little bit below schedule for him. Ellen hoisted it very high. Geelong work it to the front. Corrigan, well done to ride the bump. Gunacharo, the hand pass out to the centre circle. There wasn't a player there. And it's taken here by Eccles. He gets rid of it. It's scrappy, but what a contest. Kick forward. Wren gets back to fill the hole and take the mark.
He does this so very well. Leading mark taken for the Crows in terms of contested marks, and that's why always prepared to drop back to that centre half back position and cover the opposition key forward. He's now started the play around the outer side for the Crows. Costa highly breaks free, has Sampson. He goes long. The contest here, there's 2 cats. Spoiling's done well. Rintoul can't quite gather at the first go. Corrigan, quick kick out, well placed to Kilpatrick. Uses the run of McGrath. Neat little balk there by Tim. To the big fella, Stephen King. Kicks towards centre half forward. It drops short of the contest. Bench does very well for a big man. The long handball from Milburn. Not a good one. Taken away by Rashuda. He tosses the ball out to the vacant spaces at the wing there at Footy Park. Young Eccles leads the race. Andrew Eccles doing well there. Just very good football there. Had Colbert there with him. The Crows will wrap up Mansfield here in the tackle, and the umpire comes in to decide to bounce it.
Great decision there, Wills. He had nowhere to go, Mansfield. The time he picked the ball up, he had two guys, two Crows tackling him there. He had no chance to get rid of that football.
So umpire Gavin Dorr was the officiator that time, number 19. Working with Stephen Hanley and Brett Allen here this afternoon. Nacharo, centre half forward. Tackled, run on by Burns. Stoneham loses it, should have kept going with it. Burns trying to be a little bit cute. Yeah, he's dropped it, and the Crows are away through Bickley.
Bickley to centre wing, up towards half forward. Moving well, Rod Jamieson. Recovered from a shoulder injury, crunched by Lockett during a practice game earlier in the season. Ball's knocked to the front. Stevens. Through goes Mansfield. It's still here for Stevens. 55 metres out. Ex-North Melbourne player. Gets free, did very well. Short of the goal square. Double fister by Scholl. Finds the boundary line in the back pocket for the Cats. Well, Johnny Platten, how are you seeing the game so far?
Oh, pretty evenly it drew. Well, I thought that the Crows had the first, probably 15 minutes of the first quarter, and probably the Geelong have taken over the last 15 minutes of the first quarter. So, tough game. Things are working out to be a great game here.
The Cats in the game from defence. Sanderson and McGrath. Pushes on out wide. Lynch is the target. There is no one at half forward for him. He's looking for runners from behind. Stoneham now eventually getting there. Decides to come back in short to Colbert. Pressure. Eccles does well. Knocks it down. Jamieson swoops upon it. Forward handball. Jumping. He'll make something out of this. Works with Costa. From outside 50. A little bit of a wobbler into the forward zone. Simpson in front. Interference. Advantage to Colbert. Settles at half back to the wing. Kilpatrick.
What's happened here now, Terry? They look up the ground on Geelong side, and all I see is Sean Wren. He's playing a kick behind play beautifully, he is.
So that forces them inboard to Sanderson. He hesitates because he saw Big Red up there and tripped over his own boots. Jarman,
that's got to be a decision, hasn't it?
There he goes. No one tackles him. Down he goes. The ball's there.
It's got to be holding.
I agree.
But the thing was, well, I don't think Darren Jarman actually tackled him. He kept going for the ball. All you need to do is to tackle the player legitimately, and the umpire will award you the free kick. Geelong under pressure. King and Pickering to Hall, eventually on the ground, his first run.
About half an hour later than when you wanted him, Hawk.
Yeah, should have been a bit earlier too, I think, Drew.
He copped a fair blast here in the week from Gary Ayres to Hall. Wasn't playing up to his potential. This man is, though, Burns. Kick number 7 for him. Played 50 out of a possible 52 games and kicks the ball well to King. I thought he held that long enough for a mark. Stoneham has to do it at ground level, the big man. Pushing it on outside 50 now. Crows work heavy. Sampson, hip and shoulder. Eccles out in the contest. Corrigan's in there now. Finds it on out. Kilpatrick sits down on top of him. And the umpire comes in, Brett Allen, and says, well done, boys. Let's start it all again.
I'll tell you what, Wills and Drew, that's brilliant Barry Stone. That's the old Barry Stone we know. I love seeing the big fella do that. It's just brilliant.
While you're sitting up here.
Yeah, get out of my way, he said. I'm coming straight through.
And Stephen King won it. And across the half-back line it comes from Rashuto. It sits up nicely for Colbert. Lee Colbert over his shoulder. Chance here for the Cats. 40 metres out. Mench's hands have been good today. Put Lynch under the hammer there. And Corrigan just gets it away. Lynch thrown to the ground. Look at the tackling. The ball's flipped out here to Bond, who goes off for a gallop. The first open space we've seen for about 3 minutes. Garman crunched by Sanderson. No whistle. Sanderson. Good tackle too, Jarman. He just evades the tackle and pinpoints the pass to King. King just behind the wing. Some space out near in the centre of the ground. Corrigan. Now Kilpatrick, who won a reprieve. He'd been dropped during the week, but replaced Riccardi. Kilpatrick puts it out in front of Hall. Missed the target altogether. Luckily off Hall's shins. Inside 50. Down they go. Still here for Geelong, but good shepherding by Rashuto. Allows Wren to pick up, and Bond marks.
What agility for a man his size. You can see the benefit Sean Wren had. This was his first injury-free pre-season. It's made a world of difference to him. What a comeback it's been from that knee injury. Bond, premiership player, one of two to come back. Ian Jamison into the side today. Stevens, half forward. Downsborough is centre-half forward. Comes towards him now. Downsborough has the front position against Mansfield. And Mansfield just does enough to keep him out of the contest, and big Stephen King takes it. Takes on like his ruck coach Barry Round would have done a few years ago. Kicks to the wing. Wren again. Cleans it up. There's a free kick to the Crows. Advantage was paid to Wren, to Sampson. Couldn't squeeze it around. Mansfield was there to cut him off and force him to the pocket. McGrath takes it, plays on outside the field of play. The boundary umpire too far away to call that out of bounds, which it was. Now it's out of bounds on the other side.
I tell you what, both back lines have dominated this game. I thought the clash would be their midfield, but no doubt the back lines are in charge here.
Girls, what about some of the tackling here?
Tackling is great, but Dougie's spot on. The defence of both sides are on top, and of course that was going to be the case with Geelong, with the Crows suspect forward line.
And the Cats have that too, girls. I mean, Big Spinks was their great white hope early in the year, spending time in suspension at the moment.
Yeah, I think both sides are relying on the Crummers more so than the Markers.
They both rank pretty lowly on the average of points for this year. They're down the bottom half of the ladder. So it will be a tough, tight game.
Lynch got the free kick up towards centre wing. Of course, the Crows haven't got Modra, and Cats will never have Adelaide again. Colbert down the boundary line, up towards half forward. Ronnie Burns tried to tap that ball across the Hall.
Drew, you just mentioned Modra, but out of their top 5 goal scorers last year, Jarman's the only one playing here today. Modra's not there, Vardy's not there, Robin's not there, Stanfield's not there.
Big slice, isn't it?
It is a slice.
Colbert to Hall, running out of room. Did well to get it back that far. Here's Ronnie. The pop star off the left boot. It's pretty close. Behind. And I've got Ronnie for a 1-goal 3.
They're the goals Ronnie Burns we've seen over the years, over the last couple of years, particularly kicked those sort of goals on his left side of his body. And
Doug, I saw a few of them this week up at Bathurst Island. Took a group of schoolboys up there, and there are more Ronnie Burnses up there, I tell you.
We've got a few more coming down.
And they love him. I saw about 10 of them. They all call themselves Ronnie Burns too. Great jump from Eccles from behind. Does enough on the second go to whip it on out to Rashuto. The Crows have got a break now at half forward. Cloud takes it. Should wheel on around while they've got their motion forward. Does. Comes in towards Rintoul. 70 metres out. Handball's on. Rashuto followed up. Good body work from Mansfield. Turns it back the Cats' way. Viniciaro. Not a good kicker. Bit of a wobbler now out wider. Marty McKinnon against his old side. Looks like a one-on-one training drill there for a while. Into the pocket, Jarman. To Bond. They've settled it down.
Both sides having a real dip here today. I mean, a lot of pressure on, only one win each. You know, one side has to win this game, certainly, but gee whiz, it's just fantastic pressure for both teams.
And Doug, the losing side then is 1 and 4 after 5 rounds.
Yep.
That's a long haul back, isn't it?
Well, guess what? We've been playing 10 minutes in this quarter, and there's been 1 point scored.
Just the pressure, Drew, right around the ground.
Here's a free kick. It'll go Geelong's way. Advantage. Comes up the ground to Pickering. Feeds it wide to Kilpatrick. Glenn Kilpatrick. Long kick. Ronnie Burns there. The 2 number 8s go at it. And eventually walked over the line by Bassett. So that is the second line scored in 11 minutes. You rarely see that on a dry day.
Very rarely you see that. And I might say it again, Ronnie Burns has been very dangerous. But the Crows midfield with Rashudo playing reasonable, I'd like to see Bickley maybe come up the ground and put Bond on Ronnie Burns, I reckon.
So Wren again. Racking up some possessions. Renders his kick number 8, taking 4 marks. Hugs the boundary line. Pack forms. Big jump there. A couple of cats claim it. They're not giving it for it. James gives it out to Smart. Gives it on to Allen. Here's the lead from Jamison. Has he got it? Yep. He'll turn 50 metres out. Chips back inboard. There's a heap of Crows there. And Chad Rintoul's a player to take it.
You caught it spot on, Wills. There was 4 players. Sampson, Allen, Johnson, Rashudo. Make that 5. Matter of fact, the guy just marked it Rintoul as well. There was 5 Crows that could have just waxed that ball then.
Chad Rintoul, a couple of goals last week in showdown number 3 against Port Adelaide. Crows lost the first showdown last year, but rebounded to beat the Bulldogs at Optus by 50 points. Can they rebound here today? Rintoul, it's faded across behind.
Looked like the young fella sort of just jabbed at the ball then. He just tried to guide it without kicking right through the football on that occasion.
Well, that was their first score for the quarter. Took 12 and a half minutes. Oh, Colbert knocks the ball on beautifully. Lynch the hand pass to Pickering. Pickering wide. McKinnon. Good mark. He was under pressure. He had his face was filled up with Crow's jumper, worn by the number 8, Nathan Bassett. So he stood his ground well to mark.
Just at the last couple of minutes, though, there's been a couple of full ground movements by both sides. The intensity in close, we commented on a number of times, it was very, very tough and tight. Just seems to be a little bit of a relax just in these last few minutes.
Marty McKinnon. Just 1 goal this season. Should get this from 35, but you can tell by the roar that he's missed, and he's missed everything. Oh. Out of bounds on the full.
It must be very windy down there, Drew.
Well, we've got to give him an excuse, haven't we?
We shouldn't miss it. We should not miss the goals from there. I don't care what the situation is. I know you can drop the ball awkward at times, but from that distance, you shouldn't miss the goals.
What was also good was the support the Crows crowd gave to one of their ex-boys when he did miss one. They were very sympathetic.
Yeah. Very nice of them.
Yes. Crows now the chance again. Costa steps onto Sampson. Has a bit of a look. Finds room. 55 metres out. Back goes Stevens. Takes the mark. That puts pressure on any defence. Hit the goal square whenever you can.
Good play by Clay Sampson then. Put the ball under the arm and just had a bounce, looked up, and the kick went across straight into Stevens' arm. So good play by Sampson.
Mark Stevens, 21 games in 4 years at North Melbourne. 4 goals to date for the season. 12 are back around cutely. That's 5 for the year.
Monday, Australia's most wanted man has struck again in Melbourne. Brendan Abbott, the postcard bandit.
We only heard 6 to 8 shots.
Join us in our nationwide hunt for the criminal who believes he'll never be caught. Australia's most wanted Monday.
On your marks, get set. The comeback.
Haven't had any problems with that so far.
The estimated time for takeoff.
Probably feel like I could go out there tomorrow and give it a go.
The Modra comeback begins Monday on 7 Nightly News.
Excellent mark and a follow-up goal by Stevens, and the Crows lead by 8 points. Wren beats King. Good hands at ground level. Johnson puts the ball out in front. Tyson from 50. This time Stevens caught behind. Jamison. Oh, he did well. Downsborough. Not bad. Just offline.
Not bad at all by both of them, wasn't it? I mean, Jamison, coming back from a shoulder injury, you know, you'd think there'd be a little bit of tenderness, but he hasn't shown it. He was right in there, and Downsborough, very nearly.
Yeah, Sean Wren's starting to get on top of young Stephen King at this stage in the ruck centre bounces, but around the ground, I think both are fairly even this stage. Maybe Wren and those in front.
So Ben Graham, drop punt out wide. Good body work there from Simpson. Takes the mark. Over Costa. Patrick. Right foot to half-forward. Stoneham bustling, pushing. Wren doing the roving. For the third or fourth time today, he's cleaned up across half-back. Uses Allen. Switches on here for the Crows. Out to Tyson. Good tackle there from Milburn. Umpire let it go. Very lucky. Hart to Jarman. Sanderson just sitting off him, allowing him some room. It's over the top. Three Cats leading it. Shepherding done by McGrath. Scholl steps over the line. It is deliberate too. Turn it up.
I think it was already on the line. Yeah, one step.
The ball was in play. It would be great to see this one, but letting him, he does. There it is, and he steps back.
No.
It's crossed the face of goal. The Crows now desperately trying to deny the Cats.
You can't have that, Will, surely. I mean, he was only more or less out of bounds. I don't even took a step. He was already out of bounds himself on the ball. What do you reckon, Wills? You reckon he was...
I'm nonplussed.
Well, the boundary umpire was about 60 metres away and sprinting to the action. I reckon 20,000 fans gave that decision.
And just there in the screen, we can see a call for the stretcher. I think it was Brett James. Player down, the Crows, another shot at goal and another behind.
A bit's happened here in the last minute or two.
I missed this last one, Wills. It's James. I didn't see what happened there.
I'm not sure. I'll retract that nominee. No, it looks like Stevens. It's Stevens.
And the game's going to be held up while the stretcher comes out for Stevens.
Looks like a knee, maybe.
Does too. Does.
In a lot of pain there.
That's very disappointing. Here it is here, pushing back into the contest. And just there, again, the legs were just taking it. Paul Lynch spraying coming in and just took out the legs of Stevens. Trying to re-establish a career at a second club. Malcolm Blight. I mean, Malcolm has given Stevens every opportunity. He knew he needed a full forward Blight in the absence of Modra. Stevens was the player they picked in North Melbourne.
And both sides will have a bit of a meeting here to discuss tactics for the rest of the second quarter here.
There's just this last 5 minutes, we're on 5.5 minutes of play left.
Here we are, Wills.
Whichever player team comes out best after this, and there it goes there. Just one of those most unfortunate accidents.
Yeah, Mark Stevens, he'd struggled for a senior game at North Melbourne, but he played every game this year, which is not a bad performance to force your way into a premiership side. He was in the trade for Jason McCartney, and if that's a bad knee injury, that could be his season right there. So we've got Modra out with a knee, and now Stevens.
Yeah, terrible. Stephen King just come off the ground now, and David Mitch has just come on the ground.
Good call, and you called that one, Doug, didn't you?
Yeah, Rem was just starting to get a bit on top. I thought they were fairly even, but at the centre bounces, Rem was certainly dominating. They're giving his midfielders more opportunity than the Geelong side.
And the thing about Mensch too, he's been very mobile. I mean, just over the last 3 weeks, he's averaging over 20 possessions. He's playing like a ruck rover, Mensch, so some mobility might help him get the ball past or around Ren at centre.
Yeah, the message maybe to Wilson Gary is to say, hey, play man on man with Sean Ren. Play a bit closer.
So play to restart with Ben Graham from fullback.
And still we've had just one goal for this quarter. That's the way to kick him in, Hawk. Benny Graham, he's kicked it about 80, but it's stuck back, so it mightn't work. McLeod, a terrific hand pass out wide. Tyson, a good pick-up. Thumps it back to the goal square. Trouble for Graham did well. Now he needs another 70-metre kick now. And he's got Pickering, he's got a chance. Hasn't seen him. Instead of that, he gives a 1 metre hand pass backwards. Scholl That is a good kick. Milburn outside the 50. Still behind halfback flank. Floated.
Corrigan's Mensch here now.
They've got men up on centre wing. Mansfield, he has Mensch if he needs him. Now towards the outer side, across the ground to Simpson to a contest. Well, that was foolish football. It comes down to Rashuto. Rashuto, bang, to the 50. And Simpson. Both defences standing up well, but they need to after a kick like that.
Should have went a lot longer towards the goal square there, Mickey Mansell on his right side, not across the goal like that. Across the centre of the ground, sorry.
Here's Hart. Little kick into Downsborough. 4.5 minutes remaining to half-time. Downsborough down towards the pocket. Jamison just inside the line. Adelaide working into the breeze. McLeod on a sprint and a lead and a chest mark. Hasn't improved the angle much.
I was going to say, Sean Simpson's been a reasonable player on McLeod. I mean, he hasn't done a real lot at this stage of the game. He's a type of player who can kick these sort of goals. Got a lot of ability.
There's 6 possessions for McLeod, who won the medal in the grand final last year. Difficult shot for goal. Crows lead by 10 points. Starts it right. Stays right.
True, whenever we came over here coaching with the Footscray side, all the locals would always say you can't kick goals out of that pocket. The most difficult pocket here at Footy Park is that one that Andy McLeod just had his shot from. So from that resultant behind, Ben Graham, another long kick. Cats are there. Colbert play, flicks it on out into the path of Corrigan, left foot. Oh, that's Hamish.
Hamish Simpson.
Hamish Simpson. That's who it is. Playing his first game. Boy from Woodville, West Torrens. Had a lot of trouble last year with knee injuries at Geelong reserves. And Hamish gets his first run.
What's his nickname, Will, you reckon?
Well, when I saw it was 8 Simpson coming in, I thought it was Homer.
It's going to be Homer, Drew. Good luck, son.
Finiciaro gets on out the Hall. Squeezed on the boundary line. Hall brings it back around. Finds it. It's found him again. It's Hamish again.
Oh, yeah.
Two kicks in 30 seconds.
I reckon you do the, what they call it over here, the boomerang? You don't call it that more, the check side.
Yeah,
check side.
That's what he's going for. Hamish Simpson. West Torrens. Kicks.
Yes.
His second kick in footy is a behind. There was a cheer then. I think his folks might be here. They've come down from West Torrens to support their son in his first game of AFL footy.
I'll tell you what, both sides having a fair dinkum cracker, yeah. So tight, a lot of pressure on both sides. Fantastic football.
In this quarter, the Crows have kicked 1-4 to 3 behinds. Just 1 goal between them. Last 3 minutes of the half. Comes off hands. Wren caught in an immediate tackle by Colbert. And then Colbert trapped it with his feet. Well done. Low scoring, 31 to 21. If you want to check the stats as the game is being played, there's the official website. Colbert over the ball and then flips it out the back. Wren doing the work of a rover. One of the great rovers of all time sitting in the stand. He's our man in the outer, Johnny Platten.
Boys, how you going? Pretty tough out here at the moment. As you said, Drew, 1 goal within the second quarter is pretty tough going.
Well, I suppose both coaches have had to change their game plan, really, without the star, high-leaping, fast-leading full forwards that they've been used to in recent years. Chance here for the Cats. Yes!
Great mark.
Big Baz. And I haven't had a chance to see Barry Stoneham play a game since last year, but he is back in town.
He certainly is, Drew. Last week he was brilliant. You know, he probably had 12 kicks, took 12 marks last week. And in the first quarter, absolutely dominated the game. And second quarter been a little bit quiet, maybe lack of opportunities, but that was a very, very strong mark by the big fella.
So the Cats' first goal for the quarter, and we're at nearly the 25-minute mark. He's got it.
Chocolate is
back to within 4 points. Barry Stoneham, game 199 and goal 170. Makes that scoreline that, but here come the Crows again through Rashuto. 11 kicks to half forward. Oh, Jarman.
Genius.
There are special players who just understand the real estate or the ground around them and what's going on, and he's one player that does. Waiting now, not much on offer, tosses it up high. The pack will form just outside the square, up they go. Graham tried to mark, it's fallen to ground level, 3 Cats in first. Downsborough dives on it, umpire comes into bounce at 15 metres out from goal.
Neil Curley down on the boundary line. What about the injury?
Yeah, just confirming your observation. Right knee, not good. Had to wait on a special report early in the week.
Downsborough over Mansfield to the square. Caven sat upon, the ball rebounds off Scholl's shin for 1 behind.
I think the good move too by Gary is bringing David Mensch on to play right on Sean Wrent's backside. He'll have no room whatsoever, and I think it's a great move by Yes to have him on the ground doing that.
Benny Graham, they're gathering near the centre circle as he's got the ball.
Geelong have just flooded this side of the ground then, Drew. Every player bar one came over here for the kick-off.
Corrigan, well done. Mensch, well done. Good hands there by the couple of Cats. Liam Pickering working his way in after missing most of the pre-season. The ball stays in for Colbert. Hart let it get behind him. Lee Colbert steers the ball for Stoneham. That is perfect. Well, the umpire paid the mark. He had the whistle poised, maybe a bit early, but great play by the Cats.
And Doug, I think that's probably the best way to counter the outrider situation where you flood a zone. Geelong had everyone over to this side of the ground, had numbers on the contest, so really had the greatest possible chance of winning the ball. They've got it down to Stoneham now.
Well, after the siren at quarter time, Ronnie Burns had a chance to put the Cats in front. Stoneham has that same chance, and he's done it. And Geelong lead at half-time, would you believe? Cats by a point. And a few loyal Cats fans have made the journey, maybe for some of them not too far from the Western District or whatever, in Victoria. And Barry Stoneham has put on a show here. Welcome back to the big time, big Barry Stoneham. He's taken 4 marks, he's had 10 possessions, and his goal after the siren has put the Cats up by a point.
Yeah, great play by the big fella there, and as we mentioned a lot before, their backline's been very good. McGrath, Sanders give a lot of run, and young Corrigan was very good in that second quarter for Geelong side as well. He's had 10 kicks, been a very good player. Sanderson, as I said, been good. Pickering started to get back into it, and Finiciro's been very, very good too. Bit of surprise back for the Cats.
Well, the Cats kicked 2 goals in that term. Barry Stoneham got them both, and they lead 4-9-33 to 4-8-32.
$80,000 cheering fans, 2 teams fighting to win, and 1 toolman destined for trouble.
Tim, don't touch anything.
See Tim stuff up the game of the year.
Sorry.
Home Improvement, tonight, 7:30 on 7.
Ooh, yes, yes, Bramalco are the best.
South Australia's largest roofing company, Bramalco Roofing, specialises in restoration of cement and terracotta tiled roofs, iron re-roofing and guttering. This month, save 10% off re-roofing, 20% off guttering and 30% off restoration. Bramalco has restored over 20,000 roofs in South Australia. That's 20,000 good reasons to call Bramalco Roofing on 8349 4666. That's 8349 4666, 7 days a week.
Bramalco are the best, call us now.
Hey, cowboy, get a haircut. Oh, it's good day, babe.
Can I have a price check on Jebediah leaving home? Wayne, I need a price on military strongmen. One around, just have it down. Teflon, anyone know Teflon? Jebediah, slightly odd way. Why don't you use to
certified album. Do you want a bag with that?
For business or pleasure, you can't go past Hurley's Arkaba on Glen Osmond Road. Spacious penthouses, family suites and all the comforts of home just minutes from the city centre. Switch on to the exciting entertainment in the award-winning Sporties Bar. Bring the family to enjoy the tasty food and friendly atmosphere at Schnitzel's Plus. There's a special kids menu and free video games. And now there's full dining facilities for business or pleasure morning, noon and night. Hurley's Arkaba. It's the best choice every time.
Australian National Travel Centre gives you one of the great rail journeys of the world with this unbelievable 12-night holiday. Travel from Adelaide to Perth on the famous Indian Pacific and tour the highlights before flying to Broome for 3 nights. Travel on to the Red Centre and enjoy the sights before boarding the legendary Ghan to Adelaide. This fantastic all-inclusive holiday starts from only $1,890 per person. There are other great rail journeys too, so call Australian National Travel Centre now on 8231 4366.
Tonight, the Geelong-Adelaide clash continues at 6:30. It's Thanksgiving on Home Improvement, Dharma's in a panic on Dharma and Greg, then Rafe finds at our Sunday movie quiz show.
This is 7 Nightly News with Narelle Hill and John Riddell.
Tonight, a double fatality north of Adelaide prompts a stern warning from police.
A local attempt at a world speed record goes wrong.
And another school shooting horror in the US.
Good evening. Also tonight, both the Crows and Port hit by knee injuries to key players.
But first, police have issued a warning to elderly drivers after a horrifying crash which claimed 2 lives. The accident happened as a man in his 80s attempted to turn off a country road and ploughed into an oncoming vehicle.
The Pajero was heading into Balaclava when the collision occurred. The Cressida sedan slamming head-on into it. The 2 men inside were instantly killed. The shocking smash happened just before 11.
Major crash investigators say the 2 elderly men turned straight into the path of the Pajero. There was nothing the female driver could do to avoid a collision.
The 46-year-old woman driver of the Pajero escaped serious injury. She was taken to the Balaclava hospital suffering shock. She and the 2 deceased are all local residents. The double fatality takes the road toll to 69, more than double the number at the same time last year. Police say the crash highlights the need for elderly drivers to take extra care on the roads.
Their reaction times are so much slower than everybody else's. Their ability to judge distance may be impaired due to their age, and they've just got to be so more alert as to what they're doing and where they want to go.
Peter Caldecott, 7 Nightly News.
American racing boat driver Scott Price is counting his lucky stars and stripes tonight after a world record-breaking attempt went wrong. Travelling at over 350 kilometres an hour, his boat Kentucky Thunder couldn't slow down, ploughing into a mangrove-lined bank on the Port River.
It was Adelaide Speedboat Racing's big day on the north arm of the Port River, and the highlight was visiting American Scott Price and his 3,000 horsepower boat Kentucky Thunder. The plan was for a best-of-3 match race, but after crossing the finish line in race 1, things went horribly wrong.
We're heading awfully close. Oh, shit. He's disappeared into there. He's disappeared in. Rescue down there.
Price had covered the course in 5.37 seconds, a new world record, and was travelling at 357 kilometres an hour across the line.
Well, the mangroves came up really quick, and I had a lot of left rudder in the boat, and the tail started to come around towards the other end. Now, all I could do was straighten it up and hope it'd slow down, but the mangroves came up way too quick. Next thing I know, it was nothing but trees.
By the time Kentucky Thunder had been cut from the trees, Price was laughing about the afternoon's adventure.
I've taken some finish lights out before and banged them up, knocked some holes in the boat, but I've never put one in the trees.
Bruce Abernathy, 7 Nightly News.
To the United States, and a 14-year-old boy is being charged with murder after opening fire at a school dance in Pennsylvania. A teacher was killed and 2 students wounded. It's the 4th school shooting in the US this year, once again in a small town where people thought it could never happen.
Last night, Andrew Jerome Worst took his father's .25 caliber pistol to his class graduation ball and opened fire.
He just came in and he had this gun and he was pointing it around. And
the students were there to celebrate the end of grade 10. 14 and 15-year-olds about to make the step to senior high school.
We just heard 2 pops. Everybody thought it was like a balloon or a firecracker.
Science teacher John Gillette jumped in front of some students to try to save them. In the process, the father of 3 was shot dead.
The teachers yelled that Mr. Gillette was hit, and I turned back and he was laying on the ground.
What should have been a night of joy will now be etched on their memories for a lifetime as a moment of terror.
But I never would have dreamed that a child would go into there with a gun.
It's the 4th school-related shooting in America this year. Administrators are searching for answers.
You want to ask me why? You know, the sad part of this whole thing is I don't have any answers.
14-year-old Andrew Wurst has been charged with murder. In the United States, Michael Gleeson, 7 Nightly News.
A young man who tried to hold up a convenience store overnight has been shot dead by the shopkeeper. The 60-year-old owner had been robbed several times before, and friends say he wasn't going to stand for it again.
Flat on the shop floor and quickly losing his fight for life, an 18-year-old armed robber who'd walked into a gunfight he hadn't expected. Witnesses heard 4 shots.
Upset the dogs, I flew out. I couldn't see anybody around. I looked over at the shop, I couldn't see anything.
He'd just heard 60-year-old shopkeeper Duro Sikoric fire 4 quick rounds from the handgun he kept under the counter. An 18-year-old armed with a rifle had been trying to hold up his store. Several bullets appear to have gone stray, splintering the door frame, but at least one found its mark.
He was not sorry at all that it happened. And
Tony Seamer is friend and neighbour to Sikoric. He says the shopkeeper had been robbed 4 times before. He'd had enough.
now, he didn't regret it at all, because it was him or him.
Sikoric's wife was with him at the time. His 2 children, one handicapped, were in the back. The shopkeeper's an expert shooter, a member of the local handgun club, and he does have a gun licence.
He does, and there's no real issue with that with the police.
Now the question of whether Mr Sikoric should face charges. The police are compiling their report now, and that final decision will be in the hands of the coroner.
Voters have given the thumbs down to the government's handling of the waterfront dispute, with a big slump in support for the coalition. As Prime Minister John Howard flies home from Thailand, there's still no end in sight to the confrontation on the wharves.
In Bangkok, John Howard was greeted with respect by the Thai king, but he's unlikely to get such a right royal welcome when he arrives home to continuing mayhem on the waterfront. The latest flare-up at the Brisbane docks, where attempts by union busters Patrick to dock a ship saw picketers attack a bus. Scenes like this have sharply divided public opinion, and according to the latest poll, that opinion's come down emphatically against the government. The figures show the coalition's 2-party preferred support plummeting by 6.5%. Labor's support up by the same amount. The figures left the Deputy Prime Minister on the defensive.
The polls will bounce between each week, between now and when Prime Minister John Howard calls those next federal elections.
Both sides are now awaiting a full High Court hearing tomorrow. That hearing will determine if the sacked maritime union workers should be reinstated, if only for the moment. In Canberra, Glenn Milne, 7 Nightly News.
After the break, a statewide phone-in on the vexed question of shopping hours.
And caused the celebration in the York Peninsula town of Edithburgh.
Tonight on 7.
You have 21.
The network television premiere.
You've won how much? $93,000.
50 million people watched it happen.
You lose when I tell you to lose.
But no one saw a thing.
Dick thinks 21 is rigged, is it?
The incredible true story about the king of quiz.
Instant fame. Would you do it?
And the scandal that shocked America.
I have you.
Ralph Fiennes in the most compelling movie of the year. Toyota presents Robert Redford's acclaimed quiz show. Tonight, 8:30 on 7.
If you already have your car insurance with SGIC, why not think about insuring your home with us too? We'll give you 10% off both.
Where on earth will you find a superannuation fund that offers benefits you can appreciate today while at the same time appreciating in value for tomorrow? At South Australian-based statewide superannuation trust.
Here you pay low or no fees and get an excellent rate of return. And Statewide offers member investment choice, income protection, death and disablement cover, affordable health insurance and low-cost home loans. Statewide, Superannuation you will actually appreciate.
Catch the Deltones live in concert.
Hey, Mr. Bassman, you got that soul or something?
The Deltones weave their timeless magic, featuring their own hits and classic rock and roll. Don't miss the Deltones live.
Festival Centre Banquet Room Christmas Show. Phone Murray or Mayola Promotions or book it Bass.
Toyota Prado. It's the most awarded new four-wheel drive ever launched in the country. Which makes Prado just what you need to survive the city.
Oh, what a feeling.
Hot water gone cold? Need your water heater repaired or replaced? Call the 24-hour hot water helpline on 13 19 23.
Crew aboard the Space Shuttle Columbia have made radio contact with the Mir Space Station and enjoyed a chat with Adelaide astronaut Andy Thomas. Earlier, they'd carried out repairs to a faulty air purifier, which had threatened to cut short their 2-week mission.
It was not what the crew of Columbia expected to be doing today, attempting mid-flight repairs to the shuttle's life support system. Mission Control guided them.
Feel free to put a screwdriver under that hose to help pry it off. That's approved.
The air purifying system broke down late Friday night, forcing the astronauts to use chemical canisters to clean the air inside the shuttle. The mission calls for a series of experiments aimed at studying how the brain and nervous system work. 2,000 animals, rodents, crickets, fish, were taken into orbit, making Columbia a space-age Noah's Ark. The crew went ahead with most of today's planned activities, including a chat with Andrew Thomas, the American astronaut aboard Russia's troubled Mir space station.
Well, this is great. You know, I've talked to people on the ground, but I never expected that I would actually talk to another orbiting spacecraft, particularly the friends and colleagues flying in space at the same time.
And in a conversation with youngsters in New Hampshire, the astronauts made it clear the air purification was an inconvenience, but not life-threatening.
We're in great shape, and we're hoping to continue on to full mission duration.
Plans still call for Columbia to return to Earth May 3rd or 4th.
The British women who killed Australian nurse Yvonne Guilford could be released from their Saudi jail in under 2 weeks. Reports from London suggest Saudi Arabia's king will pardon the pair after written appeals from the women's families. Last week, British Prime Minister Tony Blair also asked the royal family to consider an early release. Yvonne Guilford's brother, Jamestown man Frank Guilford, waived his right to demand a death penalty. It's believed he's still waiting for the $1.7 million for doing so.
Sunday trading in the suburbs has been given the thumbs down during a phone poll organised by the state opposition. Labor says after taking hundreds of calls, it will continue to fight government moves to deregulate shopping hours.
With 6 phone lines open since early this morning, operators were kept busy taking calls from consumers, business operators and retail workers. Late this afternoon, the phones were still running hot.
We got a stronger response than we expected, but an overwhelmingly strong response from small business that enough's enough.
Callers were asked where and when they would like to shop. Business owners were asked what time they'd like to open. All callers were questioned on what impact total deregulation would have on prices and jobs. Admitting the poll isn't truly representative of community views, Labor says at least it's canvassing opinion on which to develop party policy. Rundle Mall was today packed with happy shoppers, keen to see suburban trading.
I'd like to see 24-hour shopping. We would love trading in the suburbs.
But Labor says city Sunday trading cost hundreds of jobs and predicts the same will happen in suburbia. Karen Little, 7 Nightly News.
The Yorke Peninsula township of Edithburgh has celebrated a birthday with a difference. The local landmark and fishing haven, the Edithburgh Jetty, has turned 125 and the townsfolk were out in force.
Happy birthday, Edithburgh Jetty! Happy birthday!
For some, having a birthday party for an inanimate object like a jetty may seem a little strange. But for the 500 people of Edithburgh, this 173-metre finger poking into the sea is more than just a conglomeration of wood and cement. It's part of the family and the very reason for the town's existence and continuing survival.
It still plays a big part now with tourism. If you took the jetty away now, they'd lose half their tourism because the kids like to come over here fishing and all that, you see.
Ironically, it was a problem facing us in the 1990s, which was largely behind the creation of the jetty in the 1870s. The original surveyors of the land didn't think it was much good, and scrub clearing soon caused enormous salinity problems. But rather than a curse, the salt was the area's salvation, creating a thriving new international export industry in tough times of drought.
It was like the copper triangles, copper saving them. This area, the farmers were saved by the salt. They really were.
Mark Douglas in Edithburgh, 7 Nightly News.
Now Bruce is back from the boat crash, 350 k's into the trees.
How lucky was he?
That is the best thing I've seen this year.
It's not bad. He had a beer and a big cigar afterwards.
As you would.
As you would.
As you should.
And a ticket and tats. But it's also been a big day in football. Port Melbourne, Adelaide, Geelong and in Sydney, another contender for Mark of the Year.
Monday, Australia's most wanted man has struck again in Melbourne. Brendan Abbott, the postcard bandit.
We only heard 6 to 8 shots.
Join us in our nationwide hunt for the criminal who believes he'll never be caught. Australia's most wanted Monday.
Since 1886, Hallett have helped pioneer the creative use of natural hard-wearing clay bricks and pavers. And today, the choice is even more beautiful with the Hallett Traditional range, the Hallett Pressed range, the Hallett Classic range, the unique traditional character and quality of Hallett clay pavers, plus a range of pioneer concrete pavers. Visit one of our 3 big display centres soon. Hallett, South Australia's own clay brick and paver pioneer.
Wherever I go, whatever I do, I know in my heart I'll never be far apart from you. Though the years roll by, you'll see me through and be with me all my life, whatever I do.
What's that? It's Palmolive antibacterial dishwashing liquid. It gets rid of germs off pots and dishes, leaving them hygienically clean. Oh, so they're clean enough to eat off? Well, yes.
Palmolive antibacterial, the anti-germ Palmolive.
The cheap way to heat water is with off-peak electricity. And you'll never run out of piping hot water with a twin-element unit. Electricity. Surprisingly good value.
Don't miss the only way to get the official AFL 1998 footy album free. Get the coupon in Monday's advertiser. Then over the next few weeks, collect the coupons for all 16 AFL team photos. Don't miss Monday's advertiser to get your official AFL 1998 footy album free. Footy up close in the advertiser, today's newspaper.
Tonight's Sports Report, brought to you by The Advertiser.
Good evening, and we're halfway through our delayed telecast of Adelaide Geelong. It was a costly half for the Crows, with forward Mark Stevens seriously injuring a knee. The club says it won't know exactly how bad the knee is until tomorrow. As for the game, if you don't want to know the result, please look away now. Meanwhile, Port Adelaide's had a day it would rather forget, losing to Melbourne by 49 points. The Power played catch-up football all day and struggled to kick goals, with Scott Cummings having another quiet day. Chris Dittmars at the MCG.
Bruce, a dirty day for Port Adelaide here at the MCG this afternoon, but it's fair to say they ran into a brilliant Demon outfit. They were on top right from the first bounce. Better players for Port Adelaide, hard to find, but of those, Shane Bond was pretty good across half-back. Braden Lowell picked up 22 possessions, although most of them under extreme pressure. Morton came off the bench and showed some good leg speed. Gavin Wanganeen in game number 150, pretty good in the first half, but really faded out. Now we'll go to some highlights. There aren't many for Port Adelaide, but look for one from Shane Woden, one of the best goals you'll ever see from the MCG.
A dry start to the day gave Melbourne's forwards a chance to show their skills. Jeff White stepped up in Jim Stein's absence. Port looked flat and needed until the first minute of the second term for its first goal. The Demons' response was immediate.
Snap it goal from 30 metres out, and he's kicked a beauty.
Fabian Francis limped off with a knee. Sean Smith suffered a clash of heads, but Melbourne's rhythm wasn't broken. 2 goals in the last minute of the half opened up a 31-point lead.
Just outside 50, drives it, goal, yes!
Port's little men provided some much-needed run as the Power threatened another courageous comeback. But the Demons answered in breathtaking style. Shane Woden's 5-bounce goal into the game's highlight reel.
Bounces, fancies himself on, lovely ball. Still Woden, still Woden. Woden from half-forward, kick it, goal!
White showed just how much confidence Melbourne was playing with. Viney and White the stars as the Demons romped to a 49-point win.
So a pretty sombre flight home tonight for the Port Power boys. Melbourne, again, just far too good. And I'll tell you what, their prize recruit, Jeff White, one of the best games I've seen from a ruckman in a long, long time as well. He dominated here right from the first bounce this afternoon. And great news for South Australia's Todd Viney, the skipper of the Demons, probably just behind Jeff White, the second best player on the ground as well. Not a good day for Port Adelaide, Bruce. Back to you in Adelaide.
Thanks, Chris. In other games, St Kilda beat Carlton by 22 points. The Saints got the jump on the Blues and led from start to finish. At the SCG, the Western Bulldogs lost their first game for the season despite a late charge. The Swans home by 16.
The top 2 teams and the Swans got off to a flyer. They kicked the first 3 goals, while the Bulldogs, without Chris Grant, struggled to get past half forward. Enter Paul DiMartina. His 2 quick goals got the Doggies going, but a backline mistake and Peter Philandia's hard work saw Sydney skip away again.
In goes Philandia, back to Kelly. Goal number 1. 6 for the Swans.
Down by 22 at quarter time, the Bulldogs needed a lift. But they couldn't find a regular target. The Swans by 21 at half-time. Skipper Paul Kelly reported for striking during this scuffle. His tag, Tony Liberatore, seriously injured a knee and was stretchered off. Sydney kicked 5 goals to none. The game looked over at three-quarter time, but the Doggies made a late charge and gave Sydney a scare. The Swans holding on to win by 16 points. And a big upset in Perth. Fremantle beating North Melbourne by 17 points. The Dockers stood their ground in an exciting last quarter as North fought its way back into the match. Some Andrew Wills' magic sealing the win. Paul Charles, 7 Nightly News.
The Adelaide Rams' long week of soul-searching has failed to get them back on the winners list. They lost to Cronulla by 10 points at the Adelaide Oval after leading 12-0 at half-time. To basketball, and the 36ers won again, but the Open was lost by 11 points to the United States at the Four Nations tournament in Japan. And the Ravens beat the Melbourne Kestrels after 5 rounds. The Thunderbirds are second and the Ravens fourth on the National League ladder. And finally, it's make or break week for Kieran Perkins. The 2-time Olympic champion says he must qualify for Australia's Commonwealth Games team if he hopes to swim in Sydney.
Of all Australia's swimming stars at these championships, the superfish knows he has the most at stake.
This is where it starts, and this is where I need to be getting my face back in the pool at those high-level meets and getting that competition fitness that is required for an Olympic Games.
Perkins is used to having his back to the wall. With Kowalski and Hackett both in daunting form in the 1500, the feeling isn't unlike Atlanta.
I guess there's that underdog overtone that I had in Atlanta is coming through a little bit here as well.
Atlanta was Perkins' last international meet. After 18 months of training and with his sights firmly set on the Commonwealth Games team, many believe he'll be the man to beat.
I think you'll see a lot fitter Kieran Perkins this time around and a lot faster.
Susie O'Neill will race a gruelling 5 events, adding the 400 free to her list to lift her motivation for KL.
Since I've come down here, I feel pretty excited about it and I'm looking forward to racing.
Defending breaststroke champ Sam Riley is looking forward to returning to competition after a groin injury.
I'm confident that my form's good enough to qualify and hopefully win both the 100 and 200 breaststroke.
Mark Beretta, 7 Nightly News.
And we wish Adelaide City plenty of luck in their final against Wollongong at Hindmarsh tonight. That's sport. Here's John.
Yeah, good on you, Bruce. Time now for a break.
In a moment, Shirley with the weather.
Now there's a whole new plus to milk. New Whole Milk Plus from Dairyvale has a handy resealable top, which makes it easy to open and pour. Plus you can lie it down without the spills and without all those odours getting in. Mom. Plus it has extra calcium, which is great for the whole family. because just 300 mils gives you half your daily calcium needs. New Whole Milk Plus from Dairyvale. Look for this great new milk in the great new pack.
At Homestart, we know there's nothing like having a place of your own. And we realise you need freedom without a landlord and the freedom to do your own thing. But getting a home loan can seem an impossible dream. Homestart has made home ownership achievable for thousands of first home buyers who thought they could never own a home. So don't give up on your dream. Talk to us. You'll be surprised how easy it is to make your dream come true.
Then, with my hard-earned 2 bob, fish and chips on the way back from footy. There was nowhere to dine and no fancy boxes to take away. Prawns were a real luxury. And chicken burgers, no such thing.
What about calamari?
We'd eat the whole and leave the rest. These days it's all handed to you on a platter. But they don't make them like they used to. They make them better at Barnacle Bills.
Dine in or take away. They make 'em better at Barnacle Bills.
For almost 30 years, Joyreen has served South Australians, and through those years as a family business, we've always given friendly service and helpful advice. We're proud to present our range of classic styles for autumn and winter, and with sizes 10 to 24, you're assured of buying a quality garment at a reasonable price. Daytime or evening wear, you'll be impressed with the range. But more importantly, you'll appreciate the personal service that is Joyreen. Woodville, Cumberland Park and St Peters.
Coming up, we go back to the action from Football Park for the second half of the Adelaide Geelong clash. That's next on 7.
Hello again. Well, we had another very chilly day and we can expect a cold and frosty night. Our top only reached 16 degrees and that was around 1:30 this afternoon, and our low was just 10 at 2:30 this morning. Currently it's 14 degrees in the city. Well, on our satellite picture tonight, that high-level cloud you can see over the western bight waters there is due to a low pressure system, and it will produce a few isolated showers as it moves further eastward overnight. Well, as you can see on our flyby, the cloudy conditions will continue for tomorrow and Tuesday, and then a cold front will move across and produce a few scattered showers on Wednesday and Thursday. Well, on the synoptic chart, there's a high pressure system we're expecting to drift over Victoria tomorrow, resulting in light to variable winds over our state before gradually turning northerly late tomorrow. Around the country tomorrow, it should be fine and sunny in Perth, Darwin and Alice Springs, a few showers up in Cairns, fine in Brisbane, Sydney and Canberra, with showers forecast in Melbourne and down in Hobart. In our state today, there were only a few isolated showers reported over the southeastern districts, and the highest rainfall recorded was just 0.8 of a millimetre at Mount Gambier. Well, as you would have guessed, temperatures were below average. They ranged from a chilly 10 at Mount Crawford up to 22 at Woomera. Well, our forecast is for a cold night with local frosts and fogs, so I'd turn those electric blankets up to 3 if I was you. And then tomorrow will be a cool and cloudy day, but mainly fine apart from a few isolated showers in the far west. On our local waters, a good day for boating and fishing. We'll get southerly winds of 10 to 15 knots tonight, and then becoming variable at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be below a metre all day long. We'll have a cold night with temperatures dropping down to just 8 degrees in the city and only 5 at Mount Barker. And tomorrow's top will get up to 20 degrees. We're looking ahead. Tuesday a little cloudy and 22. Wednesday a few showers and 19. And Thursday more showers and 17 degrees. And looking at our exclusive 7-day forecast, Friday will be cloudy with a top of 19 degrees, and then Saturday and Sunday look pretty good at this stage, fine and sunny with tops in the mid-20s. Norla will tell you more about that tomorrow night, and I look forward to seeing you again next weekend. Until then, good night. Thanks, Shirley. And the end of the week looks like the pick of the bunch out of that one.
Terrific stuff there, mid-20s.
Certainly does. I'll be looking forward to some sunshine again.
We can do with it, I tell you what. It's been a bit cold lately.
It certainly
Especially in
has.
the morning this morning. Gee, chilly.
And you're a bit of a summer lover too, aren't you?
I only like
Can't
the summer.
cope with the winter weather.
Hey, footy fans, stay with us. We're going back to Footy Park for the Cats and the Crows.
Good night.
And welcome back to Footy Park on a grey and overcast day, but we've had no rain. But the scoreline at half-time makes it look like wet weather football. It has been so low scoring here. And how's this for tight? 4-9 to 4 goals 8. Barry Stoneham 2 goals, and he got them both in that second quarter, both the Cats goals. And Adelaide for that term managed 2 goals 3, and Geelong kicked 2 goals 3, and Adelaide kicked 1 goal 5 in that second quarter.
The 1998 AFL Premiership season brought to you by Telstra, making life easier. Victoria Bitter for a hard-earned thirst. Cadbury Mark of the Year. And McDonald's Family Restaurant.
Just a reminder about Talking Footy on Monday night around the network. Peter Schwab will be on the couch talking about the umpiring, and I'm sure he'll have plenty to talk about. And also, Woosha Worsfold is there in Melbourne at 11:15, Sydney, Brisbane, Adelaide and Perth a little bit later. Talking Footy on Monday night, not to be missed for the serious footy followers. We'll be back here for the second half. 1 point the difference at Footy Park.
It all started with Jim and 2 McDonald's quarter pounders.
And now it's here, McDonald's double quarter pounder with cheese, with 2 beef patties and 3 slices of cheese. Only McDonald's double quarter pounder with cheese is the official burger of the AFL.
Morning.
Morning, Dad. I'm getting breakfast, Grandad. You sit here.
Thank you. Cornflakes? What? Oh, go on then.
Delicious golden flakes of corn drenched in ice-cold milk.
Now can we go out and play, Grandad?
There's no rush.
Kellogg's cornflakes. Have you forgotten how good they taste?
Down go the prices during the Truscott Hi-Fi Drop Everything sale. Sony 59cm AV stereo TVs, down goes the price to only $949. Mitsubishi 4-head long play VCRs, we've dropped the price by $40. Panasonic 14-time zoom camcorders, down to just $898. Pioneer 150-watt 25-disc minis, down to a low $599. The Drop Everything sale on now, all stores at Truscott Hi-Fi, Adelaide's lowest prices with 12 months interest-free terms.
Introducing the Isuzu light truck takeaway with the lot. Registration, delivery charges, 3-year warranty, roadside assist. Tray body, 1.5 or 2 tonne payload. Drive away, no more to pay. Only $29,631. Test drive one at your Isuzu dealer today. All you need is a current car licence.
What's your credit card done for you lately? Is it earning its place in your wallet or purse? Well, now there's a credit card that makes your wallet really perform. It's a MasterCard, so you can use it just about everywhere, but at participating Shell service stations, this MasterCard pays you back in Shell petrol, because it's a Shell MasterCard. And your free petrol payback is available every month. Shell MasterCard. It makes your wallet really perform. Call now or pick up an application at participating Shell service stations.
It all started with Jim and 2 McDonald's quarter pounders.
And now it's here, McDonald's double quarter pounder with cheese, with 2 beef patties and 3 slices of cheese. Only McDonald's double quarter pounder with cheese is the official burger of the AFL.
80,000 cheering fans, 2 teams fighting to win, and 1 toolman destined for trouble.
Tim, don't touch anything.
See Tim stuff up the game of the year.
Sorry.
An all-new home improvement tonight at 7:30. Then at 8, how good is Greg at being discreet?
Just ask him what we did in his office last week.
Nothing. We didn't do anything.
You need the office to do a little desktop publishing, huh? You were listening?
Oh, there's a stapler in my ass.
Dharma and Greg tonight on 7.
From the long break to the third quarter, the football action continues between Adelaide and Geelong.
Well, if you like your footy nice and tight, that's what we have here at Footy Park today. As Geelong took the lead after the siren, Barry Stoneham kicked his second goal for the quarter, and Geelong lead 4-9 to Adelaide, 4-8.
7 Sports hope you're enjoying this match in the 1998 Coca-Cola AFL Premiership season.
As Malcolm Blight jogs back to take up his position in the grandstand, and Neil Curley's down here with Platts.
Yeah, thanks, Drew. Well, John, in a low-scoring game like this, every shot for goal, it should be a goal, is so vital.
Oh, very important for the full forwards. Every kick they get must be a goal. So it'll be a tough game, Eddie.
You know, you can see 7 or 8 goals winning this football match. It's a game of defenders today.
Oh, it certainly is, and it's going to be dark over there too, Kel. So
a bit of rain coming?
Might be a bit of rain coming through, but I think that both centre-half forwards have got a lift. I think Stunner's probably played the better. Down throw's got to play a little bit better to get the throws up.
Yeah, tough third quarter, Andrew.
Yep. Don't get that hair wet, Rat.
You get your number 2 next week.
Yeah, sure I am, girls.
Johnson, the first kick out of the middle, up towards the 50. Jostling down there. Sanderson trying to get rid of Jarman. Simpson hard at it. Down to full forward. Stretched by Graham, but he couldn't take the mark. He's over it, and he's holding it right in front. Well, he didn't complain, and I don't think he's got any causes for complaint here. Didn't Jamison have a lot of his jumper?
It's just when you lay over the ball there, you've been instructed by a coach just to smash the ball out towards the boundary there. That was probably his best option there, Ben Graham. Instead of trying to sort of play around the football, trying to make that impression you are trying to do something when you're not.
So Connell taking the shot for goal. And from 30 metres, Crows back in front.
Monday, Australia's most wanted man has struck again in Melbourne. Brendan Abbott, the postcard bandit.
We only heard 6 to 8 shots.
Join us in our nationwide hunt for the criminal who believes he'll never be caught. Australia's most wanted Monday. It's the secret disease affecting almost 1 million Australians. Kim Wilson guest stars as a girl with an astounding secret. Tuesday on All Saints.
Watch All Saints and win a grease pack, including tickets to the live show.
And a goal kicked by Andrew Eccles in his 3rd goal in his 4th game.
So back to the centre bounds. Matty Connell, another quick possession. Spent the first half on the interchange bench. Rashudo, Johnson, he's had time on that bench too. Back forward again. This time Graham makes no mistake against Eccles, playing in front, takes the mark. 3 Cats out this side, 2 Crows bearing down upon them. The 3 beats the 2. Pickering tosses it on over the top. Corrigan runs onto it, takes the mark. Stoneham's the target at centre half forward. He's one out here with Caven. Hamish Simpson tries to come into fly. Caven does the rough work, knocking it down, follows it up again. Sanderson knocks it on. Pushing, shoving, Finicaro staying on the contest. Johnson goes down low, taken high, play on, says umpire Brett Allison. Finicaro, Lynch, Milburn, out to Sanderson, finds Hall, got it. Well, the crowd trying to do the umpiring there for umpire Brett Allen. He was to have no part of it. The ball ends up with Derek Hall.
It might have been a free kick there, Wills, but the umpire was on the wrong side of the play there. He couldn't see what was going on, but we could see a lot better here.
Gary Ayres has said that this man's footy was going backwards out of the side last week. He gets a reprieve, can't drag it back again from that tough pocket. And a behind to Derek Hall.
There was the tackle there, Wills, maybe a little bit high by Kilpatrick on Kane Johnson on that occasion. The umpire was on the wrong side of the play there, so he couldn't make the decision what we saw up in the grandstand here.
Margin 4 points with the Crows in front. Hart pinpoints Bassett, who was on Melbourne's list and was swapped to come over to the Crows this year. Switch of direction. McLeod towards the outer side. Bickley, the skipper, who equals a record today, 75 consecutive games, equaling Chris McDermott for consecutive games for the Crows. Up towards half forward, too high for Bond. It's been this sort of a day all day. It's been a scrap. Neil Curley?
Yeah, interesting move here by Malcolm Blight. McLeod back on the dangerous Burns. Connell on the wing, Bickley into the centre, and Bond to half forward. So they've recognised the Burns danger.
And it gets Mark Bickley up into the action.
Well, Scholl taking the tackle so the handball doesn't clear the area. Geelong a second chance now through Lynch. Just casually under the left, right into the arms of the big fella, Sean Wren. Mark number 6. 11 disposals. Just controlling across that half-back line. Time and time again, turning the Cats back. He kicks now to his side, centre half forward. Eccles does a great leap from behind. Graham, his opponent, does the roving, wins the ball, kicks out left. Guess who? Wren. Forward handball. Connell, another touch. Into 20 metres out, top of the goal. Mansfield, met by the Cats, steps out. A little bit long with the ball, works with Kilpatrick now. There's a break out on the near side. The Shepherds Laid on by Milburn. Now he receives the handball. A little bit of a fumble and he's swallowed up by Ben Hart. Ball cried the crowd. No, says the umpire. Hamish Simpson, another possession. Forward of the wing for the Cats. Derek Hall's the target. McLeod's going to stand firm. Burns does the spoiling from the front. Smart. Sampson. No, it was Bassett. High in the air. Hang on to it, Hamish. Well done.
Good effort. Great effort there by the young fella, Hamish Simpson there. Under enormous pressure there. Stood his ground. A courageous mark by the young fella there.
Looking upfield. Stoneham will fly from the side. Bassett does the spoiling. Wren does the roving. Lynch does the stealing. And he's bagged it. Oh, what a goal. Great roving, Lynch.
Green Acres is the place to be. Oh, living is the life for me. Land spreading out so far and wide. Keep Manhattan, just give me that countryside.
New York is where I'd rather stay. I get allergic smelling hay. I just adore a penthouse view. Darling, I love you, but give me Park Avenue.
New Challenger, the best of both worlds.
And back in the middle, the Cats again in front, this time by 2 points. Wren charges it and Mention, belts it out of the centre square. Scholl for the Cats. Across the half-back line, a sprint on. Kane Johnson leads the race. Bad bounce for him, takes him right back into trouble. And he's caught in the tackle. Draws the defenders. Now Bickley to the 50. Ran and Mensch. Mensch did well. Tough situation. Pickering. Colbert. Finacharo.
Good hands by Finacharo.
And Corrigan to centre half forward. Ellen gets rid of his opponent, Simpson, and a free kick to Shane Ellen. Ellen goes with a bit of distance, looking for Jamison. McGrath punches down. Sampson. Oh, Sanderson turned into trouble, but he's helped out here by Michael Mansfield. Cross in front of goal, and a chance for the Cats to rebound. Mensch, drawing Wren. Sean Simpson clears the 50. He's got Colbert outside. He took a long way, and then the hand pass missed the target. Wasn't even close. Prosciutto.
Concedes a little bit of ground back to Allen. Into three crows, bonds them on to take it. Here's the run on from Costa. Kicked a great one early, should go, stops. The crowd were willing him to go.
Isn't it amazing, Drew and Wills, what a turnover can do there? I mean, Geelong were coming forward. He's had one bounce, maybe too many, and his handball, as Drew said, but not to just miss the target, missed by about 3 or 4 metres there.
When you're in doubt, you should kick it, I reckon.
Kick it long.
Not handball. So Costa, can he make them pay? No. So the near side, just the one behind to Kim Costa.
Didn't cost her much.
I think the good move is Neil Curley said before about Bickley coming into the centre. I just felt he was wasted down there, Ronnie Burns. And McLeod now has gone back to that job. I thought maybe Bond may get the job and leave McLeod up in the Crows forward line.
So Geelong by the 1 point. Ben Graham right to the centre of the ground. Mensch in front. Good mark. Looking to play on. Does so with a handball to Finachara. To Ronnie Burns. Got two great players here. Burns and McLeod. What a foot race this would be. Stoll gives stuff. Burns on the left. Across the face. Squeezes it in for 1 point. I don't think I'd be able to catch either of those two boys, Doug.
I'd give up hope, Wills. I'd have no hope now.
That's 1 goal for to Ronnie, so that has been expensive in the Cats scoreline of 5-11. They lead by 2 points, and the ball out of bounds. That is going to be a great matchup.
Great. Sorry, Drew. Yeah, great matchup, yeah.
Throw in on the 50. Cats in attack. Floated over the top. Here goes Ronnie. Jarman's got him. Now McLeod. And it's a free kick to Burns.
I think Darren Jarman's first tackle, Drew, was a little bit high. I know he did duck and twist and turn here, but the first tackle by his left arm by Darren Jarman was certainly too high on that occasion.
It's always a giveaway when you throw your arms out like Darren Jarman. To show, look at this, he's appealing. No, I didn't do anything. So just the clip behind the ear was sufficient to win the free kick.
Well, Burns has had 9 kicks for 1 goal for. From a set shot, man on the mark, only about 20 metres from goal. He's got to kick this. In a tight game, he's got to kick
kicked it there. He just grabbed hold of his left knee. And you just see Ronnie there limping at the moment.
And he took 2 steps there, Will, to kick the goal out. Let it go back and have at least 4 or 5 steps before he kicked it. Kick through the ball.
Doug, a lot of the Aboriginal boys do that. You know, they play a lot of the game just with 1 or 2 steps.
Yeah, just jab the ball.
Yeah, just jabbed at it. You're right. Technically, you should have been back further.
You saw a lot of 2-steppers during the week, did you?
Saw a lot of 2-steppers up in Darwin and over on Bathurst Island for the week. It was just sensational football. You want to see passion in footy. And Andy McLeod was up there 2 weeks ago, and now there are another 10 Andy McLeods up there. They love him.
He would be a hero up there.
Absolute hero. It's great to see footballers going up to that part of the world. But the footy's on in this part of the world at the moment. The stakes are high for this game. Oh, the loser out of this has a real hard road back.
I don't agree with that. He made an attempt to kick that Pickering. Okay, the tackle was there, but he tried to kick the ball as well. It wasn't that he was tackled and he lost possession. So he's trying to kick that. I don't agree with that decision. Not at all.
No, you called it right, I think, Doug. There it is. So the free kick now with the Crows, McLeod into half forward. Spoiled from the defence. Oh, that's much too high. Vickley coming through. Picks up the stone and coat hanger out of the closet on the way.
The umpire was about to get the stone and mouth guard.
Nothing to argue about there, Big Baz. 2 26s clashing.
And Ronnie Burns is off and he's limping. So you saw it right, Hawk.
Will, I think Will's called that one there, Drew. I think I'll take it anyway.
So Mark Vickley, one of the most durable players in the Crows lineup. What's he like kicking for goal? It's faded across. One behind.
It's going to get down to probably an 8-goal game here, Drew and Wills. I think the way it seems at this stage. I mean, you know, both teams don't look like kicking any more than 8 or 10 goals.
Neil Curley?
Yes, the doctor's examining his left knee, so we'll just have to wait and get a report on that.
Yes. Trouble now for Ronnie Burns. Kick in by Graham. McKinnon did well. Well, by the end of the season, this is going to look like it was a very wet day, but the scoreline that we're going to finish up with, it's 5-12 to 5-10. Caden gets the hand pass away, puts it out in front of Connell. Matt Connell into Smart. Oh, where is he going? Caden inside the 50. Downsborough. Oh, might have taken a free kick. Comes to McGrath. McGrath hurriedly out of defence, off the side of the boot, but it'll be okay. And Simpson takes the mark. That's Corrigan. Midway through the third quarter, the Cats by 2 points. Good mark by McKinnon against his old side. Fantastic by Eccles. It spills to Sampson. That's the sort of thing that can turn this game. It comes to Costa. Back to Eccles, who started it with his tackle. Kick by Eccles out wide. Beautifully delivered.
That is a class, that Eccles. Good on you, boy.
Not only the tackle there, Drew, you called it beautifully, Drew. Not only the tackle there by Eccles, but he ran on there.
Now McLeod. And he's improved the angle, and McLeod is only 35 metres out from goal.
McLeod's come down, correct me if I'm wrong here, he's come down from the back pocket because I know Burns was taken off, but he still stayed down there for those last couple of minutes. Great left foot kick there by young Eccles.
That's very, very good.
Eccles playing just his 3rd game. He came from the Northern Under-18s. He was taken 60th in the 1996 draft. Looks a player. Now McLeod to put the Crows in front. That's home. He has.
Minor 10 out of 10.
When you've got a serious DIY project, Mitre 10 has all the expert advice, professional services and free Mitre plans you need to get the job done right, every time. And our price match guarantee means we won't be beaten on price. So team up with Mitre 10.
We'll make it easier to get a 10 out of 10 result every time.
Minor 10 out of 10 every time.
So Andy McLeod's first goal puts the Crows back in front, but all the thanks should go to Andrew Eccles for a great chase, great tackle and a great left foot pass into the forward line. The Crows looking a little bit inspired here now. Geelong, Pickering, Works with Kilpatrick. Back to Lynch. Steps on out. On the left foot. Kick's not a good one. Play on was the call. It was touched off the boot. So McLeod just boils it down. Johnson. Bassett. Charges on out. Uses high. Here come the Crows. Risciuto. Johnson. He can have another 10 bounces if he wants to. It's a terrible kick. Not good use of the ball. Down throw. Uses Bond. Skips away from Mansfield. Into the pocket. Jamison. Direct, effective football by the Crows. And all started up the back there with Bassett just took the ball and charged through the contest.
And Nathan Bassett was brilliant there, Will. To turn over again with Paul Lynch's kick. Probably could have a little bit better on his left-hand side of his body there. And a few players on his left-hand side to kick the ball to. King's back on the ground and Mench is off the ground from the wrong side.
Rod Jamison turning the clock back, playing in the forward line. Clock went back, but perhaps his kicking ability didn't come with him. He fades it across and just the one behind. The first goal of the game did Jamison. The Crows got away to a great start. They kicked the first 3 goals of the game, but since then Geelong have worked right back into it. Graham using Scholl. Plenty of possessions in the first half. Disposal number 17 to Brad Scholl. To Hort's ball. Bassett, no questions asked. Good defensive play. Left his up and knocking it over the boundary line. Ball off. Cameron Roberts on.
Throw in at Adelaide's half-forward flank. Mansfield worked over by Kilpatrick. Any amount of catch here. Lynch. Kick by Lynch to the 50. Caven gets back off Stoneham to take the mark. Stoneham not happy with the delivery. Caven across the half-back line to Hart. Colbert, who missed a lot of the pre-season, go with Hart that time. Put the ball out wide. Connell. To half-forward. Sean Simpson in front. Big climb by Bond over the top. Couldn't take the mark. Smart to Wren. Great hands by Jarman. But then the hand pass went behind his teammate. Pickering pulled off his hand pass by Wren, who's working hard. Sampson to Smart. Smart standing start. Long offline. Behind. And now it's one straight kick the difference. 6-12 to 5-12.
You think it might have been a free kick there, Wills, against the guy? I mean, he got his hand to the ball over there on the other side. I think it was Bond who he caught going for that big mark.
Yeah, just the touch there beforehand.
Yeah.
So Graham and Scholl again work the kick-off. Scholl's got plenty of room now. Runs to the 50. Kicks long towards Hamish Simpson, but Eccles now up here. Great boys. All Australian at the under-18 level. Ferris Williams from Knights. Looking very much at home here in Adelaide. Kicks to half-forward. Downsgrove just makes the contest. McGrath works with Sean Simpson. Works with Scholl. Under pressure. Cameron Roberts. Back to Mench.
King, I think, was that one.
King, the big fella, just waddles it on out.
Just replacement.
Bond. Risciuto. Now, Risciuto will go long and direct. No, doesn't take off. Simpson was there quickly enough just to hold him up. What is it? There is only 2 players behind Risciuto now.
You've got to move it quicker now. You've got to move it quick to throw. That's too slow.
It's a full crowd up there. Colbert at ground level to Scholl. The King again. Back to Risciuto. Kick the kick in the schoolyard. Buffed it up. Mark kicked long. Does so. Look at that one. Picked out Caven. Quickly on towards Downs. We're going to get swallowed up by Graham, and he does make it. They'd expect a switch of play here now. Once the play's been on one side of the ground for so long, you really need to switch to break it up. But Ben Graham saying no to that, Terry. Back towards the contest. Can't get through Shane Allen.
On centre wing. Crows looking to push ahead. They lead by 6 points. Jamison.
Great body work there by Ron Jamison. Ron Jamison there just pushed Tim McGrath off there. Very good play by Jamison. Of course, back in the side after being out for 8. Well, it was his first game, as a matter of fact, and just good play. Well, in the first half, both back lines absolutely dominated this game. Now it's got down to the midfield, having a head-on battle. Both sides are very even in midfield as well in this third quarter.
Well, he's kicked 96 goals in his career. Most of those were early in the career. He's kicked 1 goal, 1 so far today. That's his second. Crows all by 2.
Wherever I go, whatever I do, I know in my heart I'll never be far apart from you. Though the years roll by, you'll see me through and be with me all my life, whatever I do.
So the terraces at Footy Park start to find voice. Crows stretching out a lead here. Wren, the big thump forward. Bickley now in the centre of the ground in the second half. Uses Sampson. Left foot. Allen in the forward line now. Graham runs it down, gives it to Jung. Oh, down and up and down and gives it away to Mansfield. Terrible kick from Mansfield. Pickering, terrible handball from him. Tim, clean it up for goodness sakes, mate.
And we're not coaching the side. Imagine Gary Ayres.
Sanderson.
Sorry, Wills, two of your most experienced players to on that occasion.
Connell, left foot to the forward line. Very good mark taken. Sanderson again. Plays on. Directly across the ground to Shoal. He's looking for support.
He does get a lot of it, doesn't he? 21 possessions.
Back inboard, Pickering. Now the bit of run there. Shoal from behind. That's good overlap. Kicks long. It's into a space there. There isn't a cap there at half. Now it runs through to Ronnie Burns back on the ground. How's the knee, Ronnie? He's down. He's up. He's out. He's caught. Got the up by him. Dropping the ball. Advantage to McLeod. Away he goes with a bounce. Pushes on out wide to Eccles.
I can't work out Wills there and Drew. Why not when you clear there, Ronnie Burns? Had you shot the goal. He's doubled back into traffic. I mean, he was clear to get his kick in there.
Yes, I think there's a bit of a doubt about that knee, and he was... Well, we weren't sure what he was doing. I'm not sure Ronnie did. Sanderson. Oh, zooming pass up the ground. Roberts fumbles it all the way back towards centre wing. Lost it. And that will be a ball up in the last 3 minutes of the third quarter. Here's Ronnie.
He's clear here.
A long way inside, 50.
Maybe the feedback, Drew. There's a feedback there. There was a Geelong player to give the ball back to.
Close to the boundary line. Lynch. And the ball eventually flips over the line. 12 points the margin. Well, Johnny Platt, how have you enjoyed your man in the outer role today?
Oh, it's not too bad, Drew. It's just getting a bit fresh out here, but I would like to know how many times the Crows have taken it into their 50 line, metre line in this quarter than Geelong. So they've got so much of the ball, so here comes Smart now, so hopefully he gets it up there.
He's kicked it too long for Jamison, and McGrath gets back to take the mark.
Just in that, I mean, there's a lot of stats that are taken nowadays in football, but contested marks, and that would indicate where you're using the ball up and down the centre. These two sides are the least number of contested marks takers in the competition. They toss it around a lot. They use the wings. Free kick here.
Oh, advantage there, Wills. Shaw was away from the ball.
Just the lack of key forwards in both sides. I think that's what causes this to occur. Another uncontested mark. They just toss it around looking for the gap. I think that's very much contributed to the low scores here today. Opportunity there from Colbert, couldn't take it.
Barry Stones had a very quiet third quarter, had a brilliant first half. Now he's been forced now to go to full forward, and Nathan Bassett has picked up Barry Stoneham in the goal square.
So a throw in. King in the front position against Wren this time. Wren comes back a second time. Biddiscombe in there with him. Young redhead from Geelong. Will do the right thing, give the ball to the umpire.
I'll tell you what, I'd like to be the catch to get that ball in there very quickly.
Gavin Dorr bounces the ball. Wren down to Johnson. Gets the ball free instead of trying to get out himself. Just ball out. It's good work. Prosciutto runs onto it under pressure. Gets a handball. Costa trying to pave the way. Should have gone for the ball. Stoneham was the first one and he's sitting on it, said the crowd. No. Shoal. To the left. To the right. A wobbly torpedo. Wren sits under it. He'll give it to McLeod. How much room do you want, Andy? You've got 4 or 5 acres out there, mate. Just keep going. Watch this, ladies and gentlemen.
Ronnie's not bothering. Ronnie's
He's all the way to the square. Jamison comes now. Chips to him. Got it. Play on, says the ump. Rod Jamison still believes it's his. There it is, and it did ground.
Ronnie Burns stood with his hands on his hips.
Jury said, I can't catch him. I'm not going to go and chase his blockies away.
But if you started a yard late, you would never catch him.
That's right.
But I don't know if you give up like that, though, either. I mean, that's not a good sign. Costa steps out. Smart. Wrestling. The second effort. Worked the contest and then dived for the ball. Lovely, smart, great work.
Siren 2 was, I think. May have been a siren.
Yep, and for the third time in the game, we're going to have a shot for goal after the siren.
That's a good mark.
Too strong for Portland on that occasion. Got too strong.
So Adelaide up by 12 points. As Nigel Smart kicks after the siren. The crowd say make that 18, and so does the goalie.
Well, that's a crucial blow for the Crows after the siren at three-quarter time. Magnificent mark. Lynch doing everything to keep Smart off that ball, and he just nearly grabbed the air out of the leather. And a 3-goal lead in a game that has been as tight as this all day could be a cruncher. Let's have a look at McLeod.
This is a huge run, isn't it?
He has run three-quarters of the length of the ground.
And I tell you, that's a skill that a lot of players need to continue to practice, running and bouncing with the ball, though.
He had 6 bounces, I count them. Well, 6 bounces, a long way.
And then, the most important thing, he's just held up in the air to be balanced when he kicked it. Good delivery.
At three-quarter time, 8-12-60, 5-12-42.
Honey, sure you know where you're going?
Sweetheart, it's me driving. Whoa!
Honey, you're on the wrong side of the road. Dad, look out!
Jack! Oh! Must be his first time on a bike.
Dad!
Yeah? Who's up for a sandwich?
At Amy, we know there's a lot of bad luck going around. So when you've held a rating 1 for the last 3 years without making a claim, we believe it should be yours for life.
For life? No matter how many accidents you have in the future.
Because good drivers shouldn't be penalised for bad luck, switch to Amy now.
Don't you just love this country?
Hello world, let's talk about people who share the pride of doing a job well all over this great country of ours. Thousands of mechanics, people who change their oil themselves, trust Valvoline. You know what I mean.
Look for the sign.
If you're looking for something very special for your special mum, look at this. These 9-carat padlock bracelets and 2 beautiful styles are only $2.89 each.
Look for the sign, Zemmel sign.
Doesn't your mum deserve something from Zemmels?
Can the nutrients in Kellogg's Nutri-Grain help a child grow? There's carbohydrates from 3 grains and natural sugarcane. B1, B2 and niacin help release energy from food, and protein to help with the growth and maintenance of healthy muscles. We'll need a few years for these little fellas to take shape, so here's one we prepared earlier. I know it can help.
In 1950, Chicago businessman Frank McNamara conceived a master plan that changed the way the world paid its bills. The Diners Club card is an original that's often copied. Now we're changing the way the world does business. The Diners Club business card system saves your company precious time and money. First in the world and still the last word in credit cards. Diners Club International, the blueprint for all other credit cards.
Now you can take civilization along for the ride to places only a 4-wheel drive would dare to tread.
From the mountain to the valley, from the highway to the alley.
Subaru Outback.
That's freedom.
From $34,990. Subaru all-wheel drive, designed for life.
Aren't you dying for a juicy marinated chicken breast fillet, cooked perfectly, freshly picked tomato and lettuce, topped with creamy mayonnaise? The Colonel's Flame Grill Fillet Burger Combo. It's wickedly good.
On Today Tonight, why women pay more.
It begins virtually from birth.
Females shortchanged at the checkout, from clothes to cosmetics.
13,900.
12,900 in the end.
Our hidden cameras prove it. Plus, paying off your house in half the time.
10 years off my mortgage plus probably about $50,000.
The credit system that saves thousands. We've got results. All the banks have them. We reveal which is best at 6:30.
Back to the football. The all-important final quarter from Adelaide. It's the Crows versus Geelong.
Thank you, Craig. And that was the best scoring quarter of the game so far. Adelaide in that quarter kicked 4 goals, 4, and Geelong managed just 1 goal, 3. And to three-quarter time, it's 8-12 to 5-12. Rod Jamison has 2, and the double goal scorer for the Cats, Barry Stoneham, has 2 goals. Final scores of the 2 games in Melbourne, and Melbourne have won their 4th on the trot. They defeated Port Adelaide 14-18, 102 to 6-17, 53. Jeff White kicked 4 goals for the Demons. And St Kilda against Carlton, and the Saints got home by 22 points, 13-10, 88 to 9-12, 66. Gavin Mitchell kicked 4 for the Saints, and Camporelli kicked 3 for the Blues.
The 1998 AFL Premiership season, brought to you by Telstra, making life easier. Victoria Bitter, for a hard-earned thirst. Cadbury Mark of the Year, and McDonald's Family Restaurant.
Last quarter about to get underway, Curls.
Yeah, Pat, this is one you'd like to be involved in.
Great, Curls. This was all about the Crows up by 3 goals, so it'll be a really hard game.
I expect a big quarter from D. Jarman this quarter.
Colbert wins the first kick of the quarter out of the middle. They're inside 50, the Cats. And a big chance. Lynch on the left. He gets it over the defence. Bassett gets back. It didn't get there. Ronnie Burns. And it's through for a minor score.
It's significant throughout the 13 goals in the game. 9 have been down that end. Left of screener against 4 at the other end. So the Cats certainly have the advantage here in the last. Bassett kicks out. Bit of scum in the front position, but Bickley and Rand and Rashudo, what a threesome they are. Win the ball up. Scholl. Pickering hard against the line, not much room to work. Neither is Scholl, and eventually it's over the line and out.
Neil Curley.
Yes, Gary has spent a long time over the board with his players that quarter, and of course one player that Geelong would like to see lift is Barry Stoneham after that poor third quarter.
Hamish Simpson comes off then. Tim Finacharo back on. Scholl paddling the ball in front of him. Handball's inboard, a little bit of hesitation. Hall now. Oh, big bit of hesitation on that one. Hart, Rashudo. Assistance there from Kilpatrick. Taps it on out in front. They can't find the handle on the footy. Kilpatrick again. The kick. Not a good up to Stoneham. Bundle out of the contest. Mark paid to Caven. Looks to the outer side.
With Derek Hall there, Wills, that's what happens when your confidence is down a bit. You do those silly things. You should have kicked the ball long. He's under enormous pressure.
So Wren goes for a little run. Kicks long to half forward. Mensch getting back for the Cats. Sanderson comes out. Kicks. Misses Stoneham. Wren. Caven does the shepherding. Good work. Over around the ball was Wren. Met heavily there by Stoneham. 2 heights as the umpire. Wren's free kick. Big Barry trying to get into the game. A bit of physical exertion. Discussion here with Ben Hart.
And Johnny Platten, you're exactly right. The inside 50s for the third quarter. Adelaide 16 times. Geelong 7 times.
Thanks very much, Hugh. I knew I'd get it from you, not from Dougie or Will, so that's great.
Oh, they could have mentioned it. We all had the info.
Oh, did you? That's cheap.
Give a rover nothing, Rat. Down front. 2 metres in from the boundary line. The ball will be bounced by umpire Brett Allen.
I'll tell you what, Wills and Drew, Geelong must kick the first goal in this quarter. I mean, otherwise, if the Adelaide Crows can go forward and kick this goal and be 4 goals up, it could be curtain for the Geelong side.
Adelaide with a 4-goal third quarter. Geelong just the 1 to Paul Lynch. Eccles, Hart, Going the wrong way for Bennett. Normally he's running straight at goal, being a backman, but now he's got around. Good kick, push and shove from Allen. Graham wins a free kick against Shane Allen. He's really wanting to go straight down the centre towards Stoneham. Come up a little bit more Barry. He doesn't, so he gives it off to McGrath.
And McGrath out to the wing to Mensch, who did well, short of the wing. Zigzagging the ball around. The Cats are going to need to kick at least 4 goals in this last quarter to win. And in the first 3 quarters, they've kicked 2, 2 and 1.
So Barry Stoneham has run 10 mile, giving about 4 or 5 options out, and they continue to go short. He's going to throw his hands up, and you couldn't argue why at the end of the day.
He's in the chop for this one, but it didn't quite reach him. It's dumped down to the front, and the Crows have the Rovers. Kane Johnson threads out the hand pass. And this boy is looking the goods. Eccles. Jamison. Back to Smart. If this is a goal, it's nearly all over. Smart. Ellen is there. He's gone to the forward line. It's a behind.
Fair player, Nigel Smart, isn't he?
Yeah, very good play. Well, this is when Pickering now has to put his hand up and Colbert. These type of plays, Barry Stoneham, of course, and lead Geelong back into the game. These more experienced players. Even though Colbert's very young, he's one of the experienced players in the Geelong side.
3 goals the margin. We've got one of the longest kickers in league football, and somehow Graham never seems to be given free rein to go and kick at 70 metres. Ellen has it on the 50.
Bonds in the square.
Sampson. Ellen, he kicked 5 in the grand final. He wants another one here, but he's offline.
Now, I reckon Drew is going to kick this 70 metres. I mean, you've called it a couple of times. I agree. If no one's on short, don't try and invent something. Go long and get out of your danger area.
Geelong players break. Centre half back.
Kick it long, son.
Mensch and Colbert both there for the 70-metre kick.
Kick it long.
Putting pressure on himself, Ben. Now he goes. Mensch, Colbert. Spoil there from Johnson was good. Costa wins it, feeds it on over the top. Downsborough. Time to settle. Gets onto the third right foot. Kicks towards the square. Bickley couldn't take it. Pickering there with him. Uses McGrath. Goes back again to Scholl. Over the top of Milburn there. Geelong really can't take a trick here on the wing position. They can't get it on out. The Crows continue to pepper into side 50. Jamison again. This time the jump. Rintoul claims it, is paid it. Umpire Stephen Hanley right there and calls it. Had a fair piece of it.
Good call.
Fair
Great
piece
call.
of it. Yep.
Good umpiring there, Wills. Gutsy mark too here by Rintoul. Yeah, good mark. Good decision.
So the Crows continue to struggle to score goals. Just 7 and 8 the last 2 weeks. Just 8 on the board now. That's it. They've got 9.
8:30 Monday, Aussies beware. The Grim Reaper of Aidensfield cometh.
So in the Crows.
You'd think a couple of true blues would recognise a shark.
We must be related.
So what does that make us?
The con is on. Monday in Heartbeat. Then at 9:40 in a gripping Kavanagh QC.
If you reckon she's not going to get her hands dirty, you've got another thing coming.
A demonstration goes horribly wrong.
Down there!
The accused has blood on his hands, but did he commit murder? Kavanagh QC, 9:40 Monday.
And back in the middle with just less than 15 minutes remaining. And Geelong would nearly have to double their score for the day to get up and win this from here. Scholl through the middle. He's up amongst the action in the centre forward. He kicks towards the 50. Lynch looked a bit proppy going for that. Adelaide seemed to have the numbers all over the park. Smart, Rashudo. And with distance to the 50. Ball back in defence for the Cats. Sean Simpson to the centre of the ground. Mensch, good mark. We need the next couple. Good run from McGrath up from defence. Celebrating game 150 today, Tim McGrath. Started at North Melbourne. Kicked by McGrath in the direction of Stoner. With him is Caven. quieted him since half-time. Big Bears kicked 2 goals in the second quarter and put the Cats 1 point up at half-time. Girls?
Yeah, good call, Drew. Since Stoneham's been held out of the game, Geelong forward work has just dried completely up.
Jump down there, the ball's knocked down to Pickering. They're still trying to work into some form after missing most of the pre-season. Corrigan, high ball. Mark Getty said to the forward. But Sean Wren built like a goalpost, and in a contest like that, Wren's going to get it every time.
His kick's not a bad one either. Out into the path of Eccles, cruising along the wing. Perhaps a little nonchalantly, but the kick goes to half forward. Downsborough, it's over the top. McGrath cleans up, switches to the outer side, but it's a tough one. Sampson, that's not bad. That's pretty clever. On the right foot. Oh, he's trying to con the umpire. Won't be caught. One behind play.
Risky move there by Tim McGrath to go across the ground to a player who was absolutely hot there.
They've been caught a couple of times. Kim Costa's intercepted a couple too.
Well, I don't mind guys switching the play. I think it's great to open the game up. But when you've got a teammate under enormous pressure, which his teammate was then, the choice was very ordinary by Tim McGrath on that occasion.
So Geelong really have the job in front of them. They've never won here at Footy Park, either against the Crows or Port Power. And this boy here is making a real stand.
Just 18 years of age.
He can play. Look at him.
He can play.
Someone's hurt here. Draws the link down here.
King. Chip kick
Adelaide
towards Stoneham.
Ian Downsborough.
He looks like he's out.
Stoneham takes the mark on the wing position.
Got the stretcher out too, Rules. The game
goes
to be held
into
up.
Kilpatrick.
It's got to be held up the game.
And they've got it now.
Yes, it will be held up now. Umpire Door signalling for Kilpatrick to hold proceedings. It'll be the second stretcher job here for a Crows player today after Mark Stevens earlier. Eccles took the mark and Downsborough had a collision with Hall.
You've got a clash of heads there, Drew. Looked like.
Well, the cameras get on the action to see the mark, and it was a brilliant mark.
Oh,
and
yeah,
in the same action. Clash of heads, and you see Downsborough knocked out Cole.
Oh, he was asleep before he got down, wasn't he?
Yeah, you don't like seeing those. It looked like his head hit the ground too as well, guys, and it's nothing terrible to watch, see that.
But what about young Andrew Eccles?
It's been fantastic, hasn't he?
From the Northern Knights, 60th pick in the draft. So I don't know whether they closeted him away and left him till late, but he looks a good player for number 60.
Oh, no doubt about that at all. You know, he's had some 12 kicks, a couple of handballs, some tackles.
Been very good, Rules.
It's been just his use of the ball that's been most impressive.
Where can the Cats get back in the game here? I mean, they've got to work a lot harder in their midfield. Up in their forward line without Stoneham, there's no one to kick a goal for.
Ian Downsborough being carried off. Curls?
Yeah, just following on with Andrew Eccles, the Crows holding him very, very high regard. They think he's a very fine young player coming along nicely. And Downsborough, concussion.
The guys who are open there, Drew, looks like he's conscious anyway there.
Second stretcher case. Mark Stevens already off with a knee injury. So the injury toll for the Crows continues to mount. It's been a tough year for Malcolm Blight and his coaching staff. Many players having post-season operations, groins. Sampson was one, Jarman was another. So they haven't had a real good, clean run into this season as perhaps they would have liked.
They must score a goal here to catch their next move because time is starting to run out here at the 12-minute mark this last quarter. Kilpatrick must find a target and the Cats must kick a goal.
The hard part is finding out who that player will be, isn't it?
Well, it's not Barry Stoneham, Rules. It's not going to be anyone else bar Ronnie Burns, maybe. He's got a bit of a knee at this stage as well.
And he's got, what, 1-4 against his name, Drew, Ronnie Burns?
1-5, I think.
1-5. So they're really going to have to work hard.
Well, Crows by 26 points, and it's just 30 people short of a 40,000 crowd here today. 39,970. Aerial shot from the Whitman's lightship. He's given us some great shots today. That was quite a long hold-up. And now Kilpatrick to restart proceedings. Good mark to David Mensch. Well, the Cats need to rush on some goals here. They trail by 26, so they need 5 goals to win, and they've only kicked 5 goals for the day. And that's as long as they keep the Crows scoreless. Goals. Manch, good-looking kick. That might be the start of something.
Hey, cowboy, get a haircut. Oh, good day, babe.
Mench's goal gives the Cats half a chance. This centre bounce, most crucial in the context of the game. Geelong need to get it away. Hasn't cleared the area. Connell takes the mark. He's at half-back, plays on. Eccles again, kick into half-forward. Ellen, Bickley, charges through it, all opens up for him. Out to the path of Sampson. Has to curl it back, can't do that. And misses the entire scoring area by about 10 metres. Sampson, a member of the premiership side last year, bobbed back into the side halfway through it and stayed there right on to the premiership day. Tim McGrath outside. Mench takes the mark after Wren does the early fly. With Pickering and now with Hall. One-on-one duel. Stoneham caught behind, eventually gets in front, pulled down by Caven. Notices the umpire's play on. Stoneham sitting on it, got to make a decision up. He does, he's going to bounce it.
Make the right one?
I don't think so. I reckon there was one each way before it.
Yeah.
But the holding was there, and then I think Stoneham did pull it in. But it's been a tough game for the umpires. There's been some really tight stuff in close. They've done well. Witherspoon trying to barge his way through. And again, the umpire to bounce the ball.
Gary Ayres now has put Lee Culver back into the goal square for Geelong to try and kick a couple of goals for him.
Gee, wonder if he'll take a mark in the last minute and mark not be paid.
How would he see that decision from where he was? I mean, he had his back. The umpire could not have seen that one against Ronnie Burns that quick.
So McLeod takes the free kick. Out to Eccles. And now Smart. Quite time for keepings off yet. We've still got 10.5 minutes to go. But possession football will certainly help when you lead by 20 points in a low-scoring game.
The other thing, Drew, is Downsborough off at centre half forward has robbed them of that real central target they had earlier.
Here's Graham. The ball was touched off the boot. No mark to Pickering. Lynch. Simpson. Ran into a brick wall. There have been lots of brick walls here today. Back to Lynch. McKinnon.
He's been the biggest brick wall. I tell you, he has turned them back time and time again.
And I thought the Berlin Wall had come down, but he's another one. Johnson, long kick to full forward. Jamison almost. McGrath did well. Gets it outside 50. Bickley, terrific hand pass. Tyson, yes!
Don't miss the only way to get the official AFL 1998 footy album free. Get the coupon in Monday's advertiser. Then over the next few weeks, collect the coupons for all 16 AFL team photos. Don't miss Monday's advertiser to get your official AFL 1998 footy album free. Footy up close in the advertiser, today's newspaper.
Adelaide led by 3 points at quarter time, 1 point at half time. They trailed Geelong and then regained the lead three-quarter by 18. Now out to 26. The biggest lead of the game. The Cats having to work hard in the final 10 minutes. Corrigan into the forward line. McLeod cleans up yet again. Breaks out, gives it to Eccles once again. McLeod, Eccles and Wren across half-back have been very good for the Crows. Young man just holding it up here now. Smart calling for it on the wing. Allen comes up to join him. This is just setting up for kick to kick here. He's just going to kick it up high. let the contest form and all the Rovers work underneath it. Wren and Smart towards the line, over it goes.
Kick by Eccles. That gave him 17 disposals, and he started the game on the bench, so he probably missed the first 40 minutes. Johnny Platten's got a good view of this, Platts.
Yeah, good view here. Rennie's just been sensational today, and you know, like I picked him actually to win the Brownlow this year. So keep going, Rennie. You're my tip, buddy.
Rat, how important is it to have a quality ruckman in your side to be able to go all the way?
I think that's very important. I think that you look back in the 80s when we had Deary and these types of blokes, they're just very important to block it up, to give it down to the Rovers and have a vocal point. So he's been fantastic for them.
And the IQ level over 6 foot still pretty high or low?
I've always said that the Rovers always make the big blokes look real good.
Here's Sampson going for a bounce, running away from Hall, and Sampson has another one.
Think what I got to say now.
Why, mate?
Black Douglas, good drop, $24.99 a bottle. Bottles of Omni for $7.99. Zadig Better Stubby, $26.99. Queen Adelaide wine is $5.99 a bottle. Good stuff, isn't it? Jim Beam, $25.99. Beautiful stuff. There you go, Mum.
If you like to sip and you want to save, you can't go past your local Sip and Save.
Adelaide Crows in total control here at Footy Park. 11:15 plays 6:13. Centre bounces 9 to the Crows, 9 to Geelong. Geelong win one, but more often than not they've lost it across half back. Nigel Smart does that on this occasion. Chips to McLeod, should take off, doesn't. Rintoul uses, he'll give it back to McLeod. Just gathering a little bit of pace through the centre of the ground now as Andy McLeod gives it to Risciuto. Jarman lurking around full forward.
He's there, rude boy.
Here he comes.
Time he gets it.
I'll tell you what, Drew and Will, Geelong, great back line, very good midfield, but up forward they are going to struggle with no Ablett, no Brownless, and Stonham's the only bloke I think can goal for him.
Spoiled by Graham. It's a good one out wide to Scholl.
He's been
good
brilliant.
little fake there. Comes through. Pair of players here, Stoneham and Lynch. Stoneham goes to the mark. Lynch should have stayed ground level. Stoneham picks up something, whether it's a mark or a free. The way he's dropping the back of his head, probably a free kick. Switch into the centre of the ground. Not a good one.
Lynch would be a good player if his legs ever lasted the game.
He looks very tight, very sore there, Drew.
Oh, he does.
Rintoul. No, the umpire not happy bringing him back.
What's the story there, Wood? Why can't you just take 2 steps and kick the ball?
I don't know whether the umpire thinks he's having a shot for goal or not. I'm not
Well,
sure.
if he's got a shot for goal, he's got to kick 150 metres.
I have no idea why they continue to pull it back like that.
I mean, you got the ball in your hands, you dictate the game. When the ball's in your hands, you make the move. I mean, that's what, you got to be called play on or time on? What do you work that out? There he goes, Van. See if he does it again here. Take 2 steps to the right. Now it's play on. Unbelievable.
Dane Johnson with plenty of space in the centre square. Goes long. Ellen at the back. Good mark by Hall. That's a pity he's not doing a lot of that work up on the forward line. Last year he led Geelong's marking, but it was producing goals, not defending. And that's a mark, free kick to Scholl. And stats on Scholl, he's up to 32 possessions now. That is, but no wonder he got Brownlow votes. That's phenomenal in the back pocket. And Scholl, oh, hang on. I thought that was out on the full, but it's marked just inside the line by King. Stephen King. Just under 6.5 minutes remaining. Overrun by Biddiscombe. Connell. Corrigan gets back to the Cats to mark at half-back. He's kicked it across the ground and slightly backwards.
I've never seen so much lateral football in a game as there's been here today. Both sides just lacking that key target in the forward line. They've gone via the cape each and every time.
Oh, that's unbelievable. They had it 30 metres in the clear at half-back, and now it's out of bounds in the back pocket.
Well, I'll tell you what, Geelong next week, we've got Essendon at the MCG, would be a huge game there.
First goal win.
Yeah. Adelaide have got West Coast Eagles. here next week as well. So, gee whiz, Geelong.
Chance in front of the Crows' goal. Ben Hart wanting to get in on the action, can't. Ball be bounced. There he is.
Why wouldn't you be
Terry
doing that?
Bright. Yeah, very concerned. They're going to go 1-4 after 5 rounds and looking a long way up towards the ladder. A long way. Rintoul drags it around. Out of bounds on the full.
Well, at least it's not as bad as their last interstate trip when they got bowled over by Sydney by 103. It's not good, is it, when you all day you kick 6 goals.
Gary Hocking, the finger injury, a big miss, and then Peter Riccardi, but off at Wren, big jump over King. Riccardi, a late withdrawal from the side. Took a lot of sting out of it, but...
Sorry, Will, the thing is, Will, we have mentioned it many a time here today that the forward line and left goal kick and power, Will, and I don't know where they're going to get it. Riccardi may kick 1 or 2 from the wing for you. Gary Hocking these days doesn't kick many goals. Without Stone and Burns kicking them, they're not going to get him many goals.
Wren does it at ground level, can't get the ball clear. Quick kick. McGrath Eccles controls it down towards Rintoul. Rintoul on the boundary line. It's over on the foot.
11-15 to 6 goals 13. And Adelaide, after trailing at half-time, have finally got on top. But since half-time, the Cats have kicked just 2 goals. 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th. Sanderson, and they've gone short so many times like this. Sanderson's kick, Sean Simpson marks.
How much time did Big Spinks get for that report against Geelong? Is it 2 or more than that?
He got 3 weeks for the over.
I mean, he's their great white hope, and really an undisciplined act there has cost the side dearly.
And Graham, who can kick it a country mile, has poked it in short and turned it over. Now Smart has it, and Graham's up the ground there, exposed at the back. Ellen fighting with Simpson. Simpson's hand pass. Roberts, who came to them as a forward, working on the back line. They've turned this side upside down. Graham back to half forward for the Cats. And the ball beats Scholl over the line. 4 minutes remaining, 81-49, and the Adelaide Crows will consider that their season maybe is finally getting back on track after a few stumbles earlier on. A loss to Carlton, lost to St Kilda, lost to Port Adelaide, which really hurts, and that's not good form for the reigning premiers. Here's Caven, with him Stoneham. Floated hand pass. Maybe the back pocket will cap it off. Scholl, a great game, and he's kicked a goal. Well done, son.
Tuesday. Let's get to work. Swan star Tony Lockett makes building easy. Transform a dull cabinet into a work of art. Plus a delicious recipe for the tired old risol. All on the Logie award-winning Better Homes and Gardens. Tuesday, 7:30. Then at 8, set sail on board a floating palace.
The most luxurious ship ever to sail the 7 seas.
Visit the spectacular waters of New Zealand, where whales and dolphins are aplenty.
It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen.
The Great Outdoors, Tuesday on 7.
So the home ground advantage continues between these two sides. With the 11 meetings between them, Adelaide have now won 6 and Geelong have won 6 of the 12, all on the home turf. Adelaide control it here at Footy Park. Hall diving, takes the mark at half back to the Cats. Again across the ground. Big King uses Roberts on the overlap. Tim McGrath fumbles, makes up for it. Into the centre of the ground. And they're back where Hall started with it. Simpson. Sanderson. I've given up counting how many disposals it took to move it 15 metres forward. Graham eventually lets it load with one. Caven does the roving. Cleans up. Costa. Out wide. Bickley. Kilpatrick. But we just playing along in front of him. Kilpatrick sweating on him.
That's got to be a free kick.
McGrath comes into assist. Roberts handball. It's out of bounds.
Now, Wills, you're the former AFL Coach of the Year. Are they playing to a team plan, and are they working through team tactics no matter what until it becomes right?
Geelong?
Geelong.
They've got no semblance of a plan there just at the moment. They've really just lost it here. They haven't got a as Douglas said, they haven't got a target to give the ball to in the forward line, and that's just causing them to toss it around. Here's another, just tossing it around in close, and the more often you do that, the more trouble you're going to get into.
So I think, too, with the situation, Derek Hall's not playing the way he can play. We saw him last year play
lacking a lot of confidence.
And got great hands and gives an option up there as well to help Barry Stone and out. And outside of that, they've been trying to play different, Mench up there, Colbert up there. They're just struggling to get a goal kicker.
Colbert with a leap at them. Ronnie went past, but went without the ball. Here's Lee Colbert trying to work his way through the pack. Whipped the ball for a goal.
Tonight,
You have 21.
the network television premiere. A true story about the king of quiz and the scandal that shocked America.
Instant fame. Would you do it?
Rafe Fiennes in Robert Redford's masterpiece quiz show tonight, 8:30 on 7.
10 out of 10.
When you've got a serious DIY project, Mitre 10 has all the expert advice, professional services and free Mitre plans you need to get the job done right, every time. And our price match guarantee means we won't be beaten on price. So team up with Mitre 10.
So you'll get a 10 out of 10 finish every time.
Mitre 10 out of 10 every time.
Think what I got to say now.
Why me?
Black Douglas, good drop. $24.99 a bottle. Bottles of Omni for $7.99. Starting better study. $26.99. Queen Adelaide wine is $5.99 a bottle. Good stuff, isn't it? Jim Beam.
$25.99.
Beautiful stuff. There you go, Mum.
If you like to sip and you want to save, you can't go past your local sip and save.
80,000 cheering fans, 2 teams fighting to win, and 1 toolman destined for trouble.
Jim, don't touch anything.
See Tim stuff up the game of the year.
Sorry.
Home Improvement, tonight, 7:30 on 7.
So Lee Colbert becomes the 8th goal scorer for Geelong, with only Barry Stone has multiple. He kicked 2 in the second quarter. That's where he struggled. With Patrick, Smart, Foster barging his way through. King just gives a little paddle on out, favouring McGrath to half forward. Burns McLeod.
Back to his grand final form, McLeod, I reckon. Probably about 24 possession, I reckon, by now.
Well, it's kick number 18, Doug, if he does do that, and does. And a couple of handballs, but 10 marks in there as well. Kane Johnson. A little chip kick. Jarman. Allen can't take it. Boundary throw in.
Now, Johnny Platten, we thank you very much for joining us today and being our man in the outer. And I'm glad you didn't get that hair wet. I'd hate to see it go curly.
Oh, of course not, Drew, but I must say that the South Australian people have not forgotten me. I've got a lovely cup of coffee here and a cup of Tim Tams.
Yeah, clown. Good on you, mate.
There you go.
Really good to see you again.
Okay.
Well, maybe the Cats can get another one before the final siren, but the Crows might get one for themselves. Good mark by Graham at halfback. He has moved up the ground. Sanderson. Hart couldn't take the mark. Mench battling hard. Off the ground. Oh, McLeod. Straight on the chest of Tyson. Bucks a fortune. Jefferson. Oh, McLeod. He is a magician, as we saw at the MCG last September.
Have a shot, I think, from there. Can get the journey without a problem from here.
Kicked 2 goals, 1 today, Rod Jamieson, playing in his first game for the season. It's been so long since he's been on the forward line. I'm inclined to forget about him. But he could kick goals once, and he still can. Oh, that's close. I'm not sure about it. I'll leave it to the man in the coat. Goal!
8:30 Monday, Aussies beware. The Grim Reaper of Aidensfield cometh.
So the Crows.
You'd think a couple of true blues would recognise a shark.
We must be related.
So what does that make us? The con is on. Monday in Heartbeat. Then at 9:40 in a gripping Kavanagh QC.
If you reckon she's not going to get her hands dirty, you've got another thing coming.
A demonstration goes horribly wrong.
Down there!
The accused has blood on his hands, but did he commit murder? Kavanagh QC, 9:40 Monday.
Hey, cowboy, get a haircut. Oh, look at good day, babe.
Don't miss the only way to get the official AFL 1998 footy album free. Get the coupon in Monday's advertiser. Then over the next few weeks, collect the coupons for all 16 AFL team photos. Don't miss Monday's advertiser to get your official AFL 1998 footy album free. Footy up close in the advertiser, today's newspaper.
Rod Jamieson, 3 goals in a triumphant return to AFL football and a return to the forward line. Just seconds left, the Crows out of the middle again, and Sean Wren has been absolutely sensational. The Crows back on the winning list after they've lost their previous 2 games. And again, Geelong go home empty-handed after an interstate trip. Margin 26 points at the end. And the Premiers are back to a record of 2-3 after 5 rounds. And that man, Sean Wren, whether on the ball or plugging holes in defence, just couldn't stop getting the footy.
I mean, 9 marks for the afternoon, and as you just mentioned, Drew, a lot of that done across the back line. And that was a real contributing factor, Doug, I believe, in Geelong messing around with the ball. That early there, Wren was very controlling until started to have a good run in the middle of the game.
He was brilliant. He probably hit outs too, Will. Probably 30 hit outs as well.
Well, here is Sean Wren with Curls.
Yeah, thanks very well, Sean. Great personal game and a very good team effort.
We've played a full game out pretty well, so we've got issued with a bit of a warning at half time to respond, and we did it and put in 2 solid quarters, and it was a good game now.
Thought you might have copped a little blast the team at quarter time too.
Oh yeah, I think we were just a little bit off the boil, and I think the way we started, we really should have been a few more in front, but that's the way it goes, and we'll be really happy to win one and not lose one.
The defence was very good today, particularly the second half.
Yeah, well, they've got a good record so far this year, and Bass and that, they don't like giving away goals, so they held strong in the second half especially.
Good to see you back, big fella. Enjoy it. Well done. Back to you, Drew.
Thanks, girls. Well, he was Johnny Platten's tip for the Brownlow, and it wouldn't be a silly tip.
I reckon probably 3 goals today if the umpires are feeling him spot on here. He was best man by a mile.
And just as well I wasn't out there interviewing him, might have needed a stool.
He's a big man, isn't he? And just his presence last year in the final series, his work in that 3rd quarter in the preliminary final against the Western Bulldogs really did give Adelaide the capitals they need. And it was very good what Johnny Platten said, that the good sides always have a big, strong man there controlling the area. Sean Wren is that here for the Adelaide Crows.
And the shooter was very good too, Wills, in the centre of the ground.
Yeah.
Probably had 25 quality possessions too, used the ball very well.
And to think, Doug, that he didn't play in that final series last year, so what a great return to the side he is.
Doesn't the crowd go off here? Unbelievable, this crowd.
Nearly 40,000 at Football Park today. Well, Malcolm Blood, he used to coach the Cats, now he's got the Crows. With what he saw today, I think he's pretty happy with where he is.
I think so. I mean, Gary has got a lot of problems up in their forward line. Their defence is very good. Shaw back in the side. Sanderson was very good. McGrath's always very steady for you. And Graham, of course, is full back. But their forward line, they're going to struggle to get goals. Where it's going to come from, I think Will has said Spinks is going to come back in a week or 2. But outside of Barry Stoneham and Ronnie Burns on occasion, they'd like a goal kicker up there.
Yes, workmanlike performance by the Crows. It was tough, it was tight, it was a really hard crunch for most of the day. Most of the brilliance was supplied by number 23 there, Andy McLeod, who did some spectacular things, and his blistering pace nearly burnt holes in the turf. But they can celebrate after getting back onto the winning list.
We're the pride of South Australia. We're the mighty Adelaide Crows. We're directed stronger, faster, and protected by our foes. Federation of the nation, and determination true. We're the pride of South Australia. We're the mighty Adelaide Crows. Mine a 10 out of 10.
When you're serious about a garden project, Mitre 10 has all the expert advice, professional services and free gardener plans you need to get the job done right, every time. And our price match guarantee means we won't be beaten on price. So team up with Mitre 10.
To make your garden 10 out of 10 every time.
Mitre 10 out of 10 every time.
The most rockin', stompin', wailin', rhythm and blues band in America is back. We're the Blues Brothers. Dan Aykroyd, John Goodman, Blues Brothers 2000.
Australian National Travel Centre offers you 4 great rail journeys of Australia, featuring the Indian Pacific, the Ghan, Alice Springs, Perth, Broome and Queensland. Holiday packages start from only $16.90 per person. Call now on 8231 4366.
Own the Crows' historic grand final win with a special limited release panoramic print captured in all its glory. The siren is about to sound as Smart rams the last kick home to goal. Phone 1-800-151-777 now. This MCG panoramic print is just $145 unframed or $245 framed. Every framed order will also receive this Faulkner Premiership printed football absolutely free. Phone 1-800-151-777 for your piece of Crows history.
Whet your appetite this winter with the Peter Shearer Winter Collection. With Studio Italia single-breasted and double-breasted pure wool suits. The latest styles in sports coats and Rembrandt tailored trousers. Whet your appetite.
Look out for the man who goes by the name Peter Shearer.
You won't get better service and value anywhere.
The biggest news for home gardeners in years. Plant Liquidators is now open in Adelaide. Thousands and thousands of premium plants at desperation prices. Gold Coast Nursery, desperate for cash. Many plants at half price. Melbourne Nursery quits 1,500 plants due to cash flow crisis. Plant Liquidators, 70 Rundle Street, Kent Town. When the nurseries are desperate for cash, they ring Plant Liquidators. Adelaide, you'll never pay full price again. Plant Liquidators, 70 Rundle Street, Kent Town. Open 7 days. 70 Rundle Street, Kent Town. 70 Rundle Street, Kent Town.
Wherever I go, whatever I do, I know in my heart I'll never be far apart from you. Though the years roll by, you'll see me through and be with me all my life, whatever I do.
They want to make a movie in Mount Thomas.
There's something about you. I think it's your eyes.
Or do they?
Boss, I reckon these guys are sus. We got another theft.
2 producers with mysterious intentions.
My bulldozer's been stolen.
They're accusing us of being thieves.
Wherever they go, trouble follows.
What, are you going to charge us with theft?
I'll kill whoever did this. I'll show you.
They're hiding something.
Jake didn't come back to the motel last night.
Like he was mad out of his tree.
Now are they hiding a body? Blue Healers, Wednesday, 8:30 on 7.
And welcome back to Adelaide as the Whitman's Lightship gets us a final shot over the football ground. I think that is Malcolm Blight out there.
Yeah,
See the bright light? I think that's
the light's on him, Blighty on his canoe out there.
So the Crows back on the winning list today, and the final scores, well, they ran out winners eventually by 26 points. 12-15, 87 to 8-13, 61. Jamison kicked 3, Sampson 2, and for the Cats, Stoneham kicked 2 goals. Down in the Adelaide rooms, here's Curls, and with him he has Andy McLeod.
Yeah, thanks, Drew. Well, Andrew, apart from the win today, I thought there were 3 significant features that stood out in the Crows' play. 1 was the return of form to Sean Wren. 2, yourself going back to defence. Don't tell me you don't like defence better than forward. Yeah. And also, I think the players are slowly working themselves back to their grand final form.
Yeah, you know, it was good to get the big bloke back in form. You know, he was great around the ground for us, and you know, the boys have we just worked at it. You know, we've had a few bad losses, and you know, it's just good to get back on the winners list, and you know, full credit to the boys there.
And defence, you seem a little happier back there.
Yeah, you know, it's a lot easier. There, Curls, you just have to run one way, whereas in the forward line you've got to twist and turn and try and, you know, kick goals. It's a bit harder.
And we've still got the key forward situation, the 2 key forwards today, both stretch it off, one Stevens with a knee and Downs, of course, with concussion, so got to come up with something different again.
Yeah, I suppose, you know, it's a little bit unfortunate, but, you know, we'll have to go back and have a look and see if we can come up with a few more boys to you know, take over their roles.
Congratulations on your own form, and I think the Crows are just slowly getting back.
Yeah, we'll just keep, you know, working away at it, and hopefully, you know, things can get a bit better.
Thanks, Andrew. Back to you, Drew.
Thank you, Curls. And fancy not wanting to turn around. It was as if he couldn't do it. A real speed merchant. We'll be back at Football Park after a short break.
Tonight on 7.
We have 21.
The network television premiere.
You've won how much? $93,000.
50 million people watched it happen.
You lose when I tell you to lose.
But no one saw a thing.
Dick thinks 21 is rigged, is it?
The incredible true story about the king of quiz.
Instant fame. Would you do it?
And the scandal that shocked America.
I have you.
Rafe Fiennes in the most compelling movie of the year. Toyota presents Robert Redford's acclaimed quiz show. Tonight, 8:30 on 7.
I'll go and round them up. We better be making a move soon, boys.
And the lead up the length and a half.
Force winds are expected in
Well,
all coastal
looks like we're here for a while.
and all shipping alerts have
Hey,
been
Charlie,
issued by the
I ran
Bureau.
a Carlton mid.
Now moving eastwards, moving eastwards. He's moving eastwards. However, the times that we've had during the week.
Won't be back today, and the weather's turned bloody awful up here.
Apparently, double hop Carlton mid-strength bitter.
I know this probably sounds a bit silly, but...
No, go on.
Well, the car's sort of going, I don't know, conqueror.
Uh-huh. Would that be a fast conqueror, or a slower conqueror?
Yeah, like that.
My husband thinks I'm crazy, but I can hear these rumbling noises.
What, sort of...
Yes,
From the engine or the wheels?
the wheels.
Front or back?
Back. You believe me?
I believe we should check it out.
Ultra Tune. In tune with you and your car.
Whether you whine or grind, shake up long, shake up strong, stay on your feet and you can't go wrong. Whether you whine or grind, whether you whine or grind.
80,000 cheering fans, 2 teams fighting to win, and 1 toolman destined for trouble. An all-new home improvement is next.
And welcome back to Footy Park. A workmanlike performance by the Crows, and they haven't just quite got themselves in the 8 yet.
Yeah, it was a good job by the Crows, Drew. Sean Wren was outstanding in the ruck. I thought the move of Bickley from the back pocket into the centre, or ruck drove it, was a good move too by Malcolm Blight. And I thought Mark Rashudo played a very good game as well. And of course that man, Andrew McLeod, was outstanding down the back line there, cutting Ronnie Burns out of the game, who, by the way, kicked 1 goal 5. He kicked a bit straighter early. It could have been maybe a different story for a Geelong side.
Yes, could have had a bigger lead than the 1 point they had at half-time. So let's have a look at the ladder. And the Crows are out of it by just 1 position, but a full win behind Fremantle. Sydney having won today, they're the only unbeaten team now after 5 rounds and lead the Bulldogs. Melbourne are 4-1. How about that for the Demons? The Saints 4-1 as well. Collingwood, North, Richmond and Fremantle in the 8. And we go all the way down to Geelong, second last, poor percentage, and Brisbane, the only team yet to win a game. Well, you can bring yourself right up to date at the end of the round with all the information on the AFL's official website, www.afl.com.au, for the stats, ladder, anything you need on them.
Fantastic. You're
You done
that?
that? Can you work that?
I don't get involved in the computer too much, Drew. I like to just do the basic things.
What, pen and paper?
That's about it for me, I think, at this stage. Well, it was a great win by them too today, Adelaide. Fantastic. Geelong, big problems up in their forward line, haven't they, really?
Yeah.
Their back line's very, very good. Their midfield sound with Pickering, of course, Colbert and King in the ruck, but their forward line, without Stoneham kicking goals, mate, they're going to struggle. Bad news for the Geelong side.
Good on you, Hawk. Now let's have a look at the matches coming up next week. And on Friday, the Lions will be looking for their first win of the season. They take on Richmond at the Gabba. Will home ground advantage help for the Lions?
Well, they need this one, don't they? I reckon the Tigers will beat them as well, mate. John Morby, plenty of headaches there for the Brisbane Lions.
Well, Geelong and Hawthorn's an interesting game. They both won just 1. And the loser there will be a long way off the pace.
I'll tell you what, Drew, the record at Hawthorn at Cardinia Park is pretty good.
It is.
So they can go there with a lot of confidence.
Bullies against the Bombers. Can they fight back?
I think they can. The Doggies can win that one.
Yeah. And Carlton play Collingwood. The old tradition twilight at the MCG should be a beauty.
Magpies, I reckon there, Drew.
Port Adelaide against Fremantle. And both those teams in pretty good form.
I'm going to tip Port Adelaide back here at Footy Park.
Yep. And 3 games on Sunday. It's Sydney against Melbourne at the SCG. Well, they've lost only 1 game between the two of them.
I'll tip Sydney in a good game. You wouldn't believe it, would you? playing the game of the round, probably, Sydney and Melbourne.
Yep. And I'm going over next week to Perth for the West Coast against St Kilda at Subiaco Oval. Should be a game, but the Eagles will be pretty desperate now.
Yeah, certainly West Coast for mine there, Drew.
And North and Adelaide at the MCG.
Well, I'm tipping North Melbourne that one. A very tight game.
Good on you, Hawk. Hope you get 8 next week. Hope you enjoyed the telecast today. That's all from Football Park. Good night to you all.
Good night.
Give me the game I love. Yeah, give me the game I love. Give me the game I've been thinking of. Give me the game I love. Give me the game I've been thinking of. Give me the game where the big men fly. The game that's played in all the...
This has been a 7 Sports production. The 1998 AFL Premiership season, proudly brought to you by Mitsubishi, Mutual Community, Mitre 10, The Advertiser, Sip and Save, Ultratune, and Amy.
This 7 News Update brought to you by Colonial, giving you fresh insurance, investment and banking solutions.
Good evening. A miraculous escape for a jet boat racer after crashing at more than 350 kilometres an hour. American Scott Price was attempting a world speed record on the Port River when his craft ploughed into mangroves. He believes the boat's windscreen, which comes from an F-14 military aircraft, saved him from injury. And more tragedy on the roads. 2 elderly men died when their car collided with a 4-wheel drive near Balaclava.
Nobody knows news like 7.